to the streets holding placards.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Our greetings depend on where you are. You probably there are quite a few people from different parts of the world. We are going to be covering the news headlines for the week before we actually go into the main discussions. Welcome to everyone. Let me check the chat out and see if there's anyone there. Oh, Charles Orakwe. That's quite a nice name. Charles Orakwe. Thank you for joining us. Osa Idehe. Thank you for joining us. Wachuku, I see you there too. Samuel, Jesus is Lord. Jesus is Lord. Why did you stop there now? It should be your Lord and personal Savior. Yeah, what kind of a disrespectful thing is that? If for real, thank you for joining us. Nice one. And yeah, we're going to be covering the headlines. It's going to be international versus local news regarding what has been going on around the world and in Nigeria too. So I will start with this issue with Ghanaians protesting. I thought this stuff has been resolved, but it appears, it's still rumbling within Ghana, and some nefarious actors don't want us to get along. Obviously, they want the countries to be arguing amongst themselves. I don't know what Nigerians did to them. Nigerians have been very, very nice to them, so I don't know why they are coming after Nigerians. Hopefully that will pass, and I'm sure it's going to pass. I think I saw our minister, I think she's part of the foreign ministry, Bianca Ojukwu, went there to go and have some words with the Ghanaian minister too. So hopefully they will be able to address this. But I will just cover it as part of the news of what is happening. Obviously, we also have the Trump business and all the other stuff going on, including in Nigeria too. All right, so let's get on with it. Thank you.
Ghana, where there have been renewed protests.
Sorry, before I forget, remember to like, share, and subscribe. It's not going to do you any harm. It's for free. Just pause for a while. No matter how much you guys like to watch the show and look at the screen and all, just stop for a bit, take your button, your mouse, or whatever you use. You click the like and hopefully share it on your WhatsApp with other people so that people can see that this show is on and more people can share information. And the truth is that if more people come in and we are able to exchange ideas, that is also going to help the quality of information that is coming from here too. So share it. It's not only the same people that should be coming in. We have to spread the message. When we go to church, we see how our people diligently spread the message of the Lord. So this too is a message of unity, a message of development, a message of improving the lives of our people. So share the message out there for other people to be able to join us with this conversation. So, and whatever you hear here, whatever we discuss here is for the benefit of the society. It's not here to target anybody, any group, any race, any religion. The idea of this conversation is to improve our awareness of our environment so that we can better deal with the problems and challenges we are facing today. So nobody should take it personal in terms of some of the opinions people have here. And I'll leave it at that in the meantime, and so that we can get back to this in covering the headlines for this week. All right.
Seeking the deportation of Nigerians from that country. Large numbers of demonstrators took to the streets holding placards, various inscriptions alleging that Nigerians were behind armed robbery and violent attacks, mass prostitution, kidnappings, and ritual killings. In 1983, Nigeria's former president, Shehu Shagari, cited similar issues of rising crime and economic pressure as justification for the mass expulsion of more than 2 million undocumented Ghanaian immigrants. However, the deportation did not actually start with Nigeria. Ghana was the first to launch the onslaught, ordering 3 million migrants, mostly Nigerians, to leave Ghana in 1969. Well, Basharu Dele Momodu is a former PDP presidential aspirant and publisher of Ovation magazine who has lived in Ghana for nearly 30 years. He returned to Nigeria just yesterday from Ghana, and he joins me now on the line from Lagos. Basharu, great to see you as always. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. I mean, how hot are things for Nigerians at the moment in Ghana? Is there a sense of growing hostility towards Nigerians there?
For now, I would say it's a bit exaggerated. You won't believe it. I've been in Ghana since Sunday morning, and I was not even aware that any such thing was happening in town until people started forwarding me the video that went viral. Yeah, these things happen every now and then, not just in Ghana. All over the world, especially in some parts of Africa, like South Africa, where there is this xenophobia about, Nigerians are dominating our economy. Nigerians are taking over our wives and our women. Nigerians are doing this and that. So that's to be expected. Nigeria is like the America of Africa. We're big, we're very flamboyant. Without sounding immodest, Nigerians are among the richest people in the world. Forget about the poverty that we have around us. So it will happen every now and then. But I don't think it's as bad as it's been portrayed on social media. I've had the opportunity of speaking to the Nigerian side and the Ghanaian side, and this particular instance has to do with a Nigerian gentleman who said he wanted to establish his own kingdom on Ghanaian soil. Like they said, no, Umba, we're not going to agree. You can't do it. He said he wants to celebrate the New Yam Festival. And they said, no, there is tension. We don't want you to do it. And they said, according to the Ghanaian side, he's insisting we do it. But what I learned as a young man is that when you are in Rome, you have to behave like Romans. I have lived
regret ever being associated with the APC. Anyone who has moved with the devil, anyone who has moved with an unholy tendency, definitely should regret it. How would you describe the APC as devil? The APC that says that it wants to straighten the path for Nigerians, APC that says that their policies are for the average Nigerian people to make their lives better? Sheung, if not because of your job here in China, if not because of codes of operation, if not because of some tenets and doctrines of operation as a journalist. You don't need a prophet to tell you what is happening in this country. You don't need anyone. It is visible even to the blind and audible to the deaf that we are in a precarious situation in this country like we have never been. It has never been this disastrous. It has never been this terrible. The hunger in the land is shattered. People are dying of malnutrition in the rural communities of this country. People are beginning to visit garbage centers to look for crumbs and food. Take a trip today to your village and just announce that you want to share 2 bags of rice. If you are not careful, there will be dead casualties as a result of the struggle just to get 1 tin or 2 tins of rice. But that is the situation we are in this country. Senator Mela, those who, in this government, they've said, look, they're taking tough decisions over the past years of indecision and inability or lack of audacity of past leaders to take those difficult decisions. And this government said, we are taking those tough decisions, and in the end, it will pay off. Maybe you do not have the gift of interpretation of tongues. APC speak in tongues. And what they are telling you that they are taking tough decisions, they are telling you that we are putting you Nigerians on a tough. We are taking you through rigorous struggle. We are taking you through hunger. We are taking you through malnutrition. We are taking you through insecurity. We are taking you through problems like we have never seen
which
in this
could be
country before.
momentary, and at the end of the day, we'll be better off instead of kicking the can down the. And at the end of the day,
when you have a roadmap, when you are using a GPRS, you are likely to get to your destination. But APC and this government is a car being driven by a drunken driver.
what do you mean?
Possibility of getting to your destination is not there.
Many thanks as always, Nifemi. The Nigerian Ports Authority is spotlighting indigenous investments in the maritime sector as it strolls its weight behind President Bola Tinubu's Nigeria First policy. A major milestone was recorded at the Onne Ports Complex with the arrival of a fully Nigerian-owned container vessel. TVC News senior business correspondent Ifunanya Eze reports.
The arrival of MV Ocean Dragon, a fully Nigerian-owned container vessel, is being celebrated as a bold step towards strengthening indigenous shipping operations. Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Mr. Abubakar Dansoho, says the development aligns with the renewed Nigeria First agenda of President Bola Tinubu. With a capacity of 349 TEUs, MV Ocean Dragon is set to enhance in-country maritime trade routes and regional shipping within West Africa.
We are looking forward to having more investors, bringing local investment into this industry so we can have more vessels like this operating domestically. Government, I'm sure, will be very, very interested in promoting this kind of activities because that is the way to go.
We have continued to set pace in growing side by side with the indigenous business and the communities that we serve. The launch of the WACT Calabar service with Ocean Dragon is one of the many demonstrations of WACT's alignment with the national policy on marine and blue economy.
The vessel will also operate on domestic coastal corridors, including a key route from Onne to Calabar, a development seen as a major boost for Nigeria's cabotage policy, aimed at promoting local participation in coastal and inland shipping.
This is going to be a game changer because the more you move containers out of Onne to places like Calabar and other destinations within Nigeria, the more you also get more vessels from abroad that will now serve the calling direct to Onne. So in shipping, the idea of direct call and indirect call matters a lot. So the more you have a direct call vessels into a location, the more you are making that place a hub, which is the ambition of Nigerian Port Authority, which is also the policy of federal government.
The vessel's deployment is also a signal to the global investment community that Nigeria's marine and blue economy sector is open, competitive, and increasingly driven by local capacity. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News.
Now today,
a man and a small child are lying on a street in Gaza City. In his final moments, the man reaches out to touch the child. This video was broadcast in December 2023, but there were no details of who these people were. For months, we tried to find out more about them, trawling social media and reaching out to contacts on the ground, until we found a name for the man, Mohammed Al-Majdalawi, and his daughter, 2-year-old Leanne.
Mama.
Leanne's is just one of 95 reports we've compiled of children who were allegedly shot in the head or the chest in this war in Gaza. To compile this list, we verified media reports, spoke to human rights researchers on the ground, and to 30 doctors and nurses who treated these children. More than 2/3 were under 12 years old. In 57 of these cases, it was alleged that the IDF shot the child. In 2 accounts, the children were allegedly shot by Palestinians. For the remaining 36 cases, we have no account of what happened. But what led to Leanne's death? This is Leanne's sister Shahid. She was 12 and with her mother, father, brother and sister that day. She told us they were fleeing bombing and walking down a quiet street when they came to this junction and she saw a tank up the street to her left.
شفنا الدبابة نحن صرنا نجري في الجري احنا سبقنا بابا نطلع نحن لقيناه مرمى على الأرض فكرناه وقع إشي.
She said they ran back to help and realized their father had been shot.
أنا مديت إيد عليها بدي أمسكها لأنها دغري أجت رصاصة في إيدي دغري صار الرصاص لي وصار أبويا يصرخ روحوا صوبوني روحوا صوبوني.
They fled and never saw Mohammed or Leanne again. We found a satellite image taken 2 hours before the shooting. We don't have permission to broadcast it, so we've recreated it here. In it, we can see a tank along the same street where Shahid says she saw one 2 hours later. Military expert Stuart Ray examined the image and pointed out many other tanks, armoured vehicles, and defensive sandbanks, and these tall buildings, indicating this was an IDF fortified position. We presented our findings to the IDF, and they said IDF soldiers operate against terrorist organisations in complex urban environments, and unintended or erroneous harm may occur in the course of combat. They said the details of Leanne's case have been recorded and will be examined by the competent authorities. Kay fought with the IDF in Gaza in early 2024. He described several incidents in which his unit killed unarmed people, including 2 boys he described as young teenagers.
Anyone you see off the humanitarian road, shoot to kill. That's what we were told. Our commander qualified that. Of course, if it's a woman or a child, don't shoot. Try to detain them. Don't be stupid.
Do you think there's a lack of accountability?
I would definitely say there's a lack of accountability. When we lost some people in a firefight, it was just destroy everything, kill everyone you see.
We put this soldier's allegations to the IDF, and they said the IDF remains committed to minimizing harm to civilians as much as possible. Yanina Dill is a professor of international law at Oxford University and reviewed our findings.
It's often very hard to come to a definitive, even a preliminary legal conclusion from far away, where you never have all the evidence. And in this instance, the available evidence points so directly towards a very serious violation of law, potentially even a war crime. That's quite rare.
Leanne and Mohammed's remains lay on Hamid Street for days as their family fled from the chaos of this brutal war. And until we contacted the family over a year later, they had no idea that this video even existed. Steph.
Thank you. That is the Israeli Gaza conflict, and that I ended on there. And let's cover that of Trump and his business. This issue with Epstein, I really think people should pay attention to this matter, because this issue with Epstein is very vital to what is going on around the world. Because the way Trump and his people seem to be maneuvering right now, they are trying their best to sweep it under the carpet. Can you imagine somebody that has been convicted for sex trafficking and all kinds of stuff? The Department of Justice of America officials went to see her this week, and guess what? They transferred her to a prison where she is less likely to be, a prison that is more comfortable for her. That's what they did now, and people are worried now that they might strike a deal with her to come out and say that Trump is innocent. As a matter of fact, Jeffrey Epstein is innocent. All this talk people are talking, there is no evidence. And Trump will be like, yeah, I agree with you. I pardon you now, and no more talk about Jeffrey Epstein document and list anymore. It's over. Everybody should go home and forget about it. And let's carry on with a nation that seems to be hell-bent on compromising its own security for the security of another nation. This is a very strange world we live in right now. And I'm not sure there has been any time like this in history where a small group of people are suspected of controlling a vast empire like that. And I can't remember any particular time in history. And anybody that does that is a dangerous thing. But that said, anyway, in terms of, a small group of people controlling a massive empire, what tends to happen with that is that when the big empire wakes up, they tend to go ballistic on that group of people. All right, let me just play this video so that you can hear what what is being said by Donald Trump.
Trading telling all on Jeffrey Epstein for greater privileges, eventually her freedom. This looks like preferential treatment. a sudden transfer to this minimum security prison camp in Texas from more restrictive facilities in Florida. Now in a dormitory, unusually lenient conditions for a convicted sex offender. And the Department of Justice is yet to explain the move. But it came days after meeting the Deputy Attorney General, stoking anger from those representing victims. Attorney Jack Scorella said, "The victims of the Epstein-Maxwell conspiracy continue to endure the emotional pain of every development in the negotiations with Ghislaine Maxwell. They wait anxiously and expect to be afforded full access to all relevant information concerning the criminal conduct that has so severely damaged them." The Trump administration is accused of a cover-up, even by the president's own base. And however much he now wants an issue he wants fueled to go away, he can't stop talking about it.
Well, I'm allowed to give you
big breaking news this afternoon.
Nobody's
Two nuclear submarines.
Nobody's asked me about it.
Donald Trump insists he had cut ties with Epstein long before the financier previously convicted was arrested on further sex charges in July 2019. He was found dead in his cell a month later. Maxwell, his accomplice and girlfriend, were sentenced in 2022 to 20 years in prison for recruiting and trafficking minors for Epstein. Now she's asking the Supreme Court to overturn her conviction. But will the president intervene first?
It is extraordinarily bizarre that we are having discussions about possible clemency, and now this transfer is also very strange. It is possible that this has been done to reward her by moving her from a very difficult prison to something that is much more akin to a dormitory.
Trump campaigned pledging full transparency on the Epstein scandal. And if a deal is cut with Maxwell, will it ultimately reveal or conceal secrets? Rob Harris, Sky News.
Yep, that is that. As you can see, even the analysts, speakers on this, pundits, are saying this is very unusual. For somebody that has been convicted of sex offense, suddenly, since this issue came up, the people, the powers that be in America seems to be softballing around her because they are afraid of what she could say. Because if she comes out and starts talking about all the things that she knows about all these people, God, even her life is at stake at this stage. People should be very careful. I get a feeling that people will start dropping. People are going to start dropping with all these events. Some people are already dropping. We don't know why, but people are already dropping. Like the lady that was paid off by one of the accused, alleged accused that was paid off. She too, they said she committed suicide. There was another guy that was involved in the case that died. I think he was a lawyer that's passed on. He was older too, so it could just be by coincidence. But whenever these type of things want to start happening, don't be surprised. People start dropping because these are serious issues here, and it's something that people really need to pay attention to. Never let it go, because I think there was a comment I read just now by he's saying something about a few people have always been accused of governing and controlling the government. That is true, actually. However, if those few are linked to an ethnic group or race that is a minority, is dangerous. That's where it's dangerous. If it's a cabal, a cabal that belongs to a specific race or major groups, it's not a big deal, because they can withstand that accusation and survive it, and it's all right. But if you are a small group of people, it's not only these people amongst you that are controlling the government that will get a backlash. It's your entire ethnic group. They tend to get a backlash when that happens, and that's what makes it a bit dangerous for people to be accusing Israel at the moment. All right, so let's play this.
Big breaking news this afternoon. 2 nuclear submarines are on the move.
As Americans finish their working week, the news that their president had ordered nuclear subs closer to Russia in response to remarks from the former Russian president Dmitry Medvedev about the risk of war. The same evening, he accused Medvedev of running his mouth.
And when you mention the word nuclear, I say, my eyes light up, and I say, we better be careful, because it's the ultimate threat. He shouldn't have said it. He's got a fresh mouth. He said things in the past too. And so we always want to be ready.
President Putin hasn't commented on that yet, but yesterday he did address Trump's mounting frustration about the war in Ukraine.
As for any disappointments on the part of anyone, all disappointments arise from inflated expectations. This is a well-known general rule. But in order to resolve the issue peacefully, it is necessary to have thorough conversations and not in public.
Russian attacks kept coming in Kyiv this week, despite Trump threatening Moscow with punishing tariffs unless it makes a deal by the 8th of August to end the war in Ukraine. But if it was Trump dishing out Nobel Peace Prizes, perhaps it would be self-awarded.
I mean, I settled a lot of wars. I think I settled averaging about a war a month. But, you know, we're saving millions of lives.
Some countries see his tariffs as nothing but inflammatory. In Brazil, outrage after 50% tariffs were slapped on the country by the US and seen only as political revenge.
The Brazilian people are in charge in Brazil, and we will not accept any American intervention here in our country.
There's also the small matter of friction in his own country and accusations that he's once again shooting the messenger. After the release of disappointing job figures, he fired Erica McIntyre, the boss of the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. In a social media post, he claimed without evidence that the job numbers were rigged to make the Republicans and him look bad, saying the country was doing great. Moves on the international stage can help distract from issues at home, and the Kremlin certainly doesn't appear to be treating America's nuclear submarines as a crisis just yet. After all, in President Trump's first term in office, he'd publicly fall out and then, in his words, fall in love again with Kim Jong-un. But just as with Trump's failure to get North Korea to give up its nuclear weapons, so seems to be the case with Russia and its war. Proof perhaps that some things are out of the control of President Trump's America.
Now I'm going to cover, get back to Nigeria with this statement.
Those of us here, we have APC leaders, we have PDP leaders, we have ADC leaders. Maybe Lagos is them, but I don't think political parties are here present. So that's how I call it critical stakeholder. I have a prepared speech written by myself, which I'm going to read to all of us. Then after that, to make one speech, I only asked for about 43 people to come. Speech delivered by Right Honorable today on the only and indeed Nigeria at the critical stakeholder meeting held on 1st August 2025. I welcome you all to this important meeting of the critical stakeholders of the political family, which cut across ADC, APC, PDP, and other parties in Kogi State, and indeed across the country. This meeting was called by me as your political principal to bring you the political development, especially in my political party, African Democratic Congress, in recent times. Many have asked me questions if I can't or see APC. Let me first appreciate all my political admirers, lovers, and followers in ADC, in APC, in PDP, for your cause to join hands with the performing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to move this country forward. I owe you a great love of gratitude, and I want to assure you that I will give your overtures a thought when I complete whatever my decision is. You shall be informed. In an enlightenment much bigger.
I thought he was saying something else, but he appears to be saying any coalition against the current president is going to be doomed to fail. I don't see that as a factual statement, but people are entitled to their own opinion. So, welcome, Pansat. There are quite a lot of events that have taken place this week. There are quite a few that were not mentioned too. We know of quite a few. And let me think about one of them. In terms of national security, there is the issue of in the middle belt that is still going on. And I also heard about President Tinubu saying something about the online people that are online social media, that they should verify their information before they amplify it. That is quite an interesting play on words. Verify before amplification. I think I agree on that one, because it's about being factual, and so he too should not cry when they come and criticize him with factual information. So that is good for him to say. There is also the issue of the dispute. This Witkoff went to Gaza yesterday, and even while they were there, they were killing some Palestinians. They were looking for food, but not that they care anyway. The Americans seems to be only on one side, and the rest of the world is on the other side. That is very peculiar. I'm not sure this kind of situation has occurred like this before. There is also the declaration of the Palestinian state that is happening now. Many nations, including the UK, France, and Germany of all nations, wants to recognize the Palestinian state because they fear that Israel is looking for every excuse to destroy the hope or the prospects of a Palestinian state, which leaves only a few other options. So that is one of them. So I will leave that at that now. Then we will cover whatever else comes up during the discussion. Welcome, Pansat. You are the first today. I'm not sure you have ever been the first before. Thank you for joining us. So what do you make of some of the headlines? There is ranging from this Ghislaine Maxwell issue to that of this Peter Obi. Because I've always said that Peter Obi El-Rufai ticket is a formidable one. People keep thinking it's a joke. I think it's a formidable ticket. El-Rufai vice president, Peter Obi president, and goes out there saying he's going to run for one term. And someone like El-Rufai will hold Peter Obi to one term, because El-Rufai is a stubborn human being. He will not let Peter Obi run the second term. It will cause a big problem for him. So if those two go together and El-Rufai convinces him not that Peter Obi is going to run for one term, President Tinubu better start watching his back. And that is only possible if ADC lines up behind P2B. If they split again, forget the election, is over. If they split again, if ADC stands on its own, somehow P2B goes and joins PDP or some weird other configuration, in other words, you have the vote split three ways, it's over. President Tinubu will be re-elected. In short, don't bother going to the election, it's over. Except only God will intervene to stop Tinubu from winning that election. So I really hope he sinks into any opposition politician that wants President Tinubu out of office, that there is no other way. The only option that exists, the only path, is for them to gather together and come to some kind of agreement on their candidate. And the only candidate that is viable to unite against current president right now is Peter Obi. It's obvious, because if you choose Atiku, the Southerners will still vote Tinubu. History has suggested that they will do the same thing. So it's just obvious that it has to go to Peter Obi, and Atiku has tried multiple times. He hasn't succeeded. He has to now bless another candidate to go ahead. If he does that, Tinubu is out of office, which is interesting. They have the opportunity to remove Tinubu from office. They are fiddling and twiddling and twizzling their fingers and trying to score one against each other. That's how vain our Nigerian political space is. If they claim that they don't like Tinubu so much, how can they not be able to unite around one man to remove Tinubu from office? But that is our Nigerian space for you. Petty as ever. Welcome, Pastor. So what do you make of some of the news you've heard of today?
Let me say hello to you, forefathers, and my brother AY, and those who are in the comment section. It's an interesting week now. I disagree in part, and I agree in part with your preamble. Tinubu is gone, right? What's 2 years is a long time in politics. Even a month is a long time. What the country is doing now, involving the statesmen, they're trying to figure a way to bring order into the system. And they're trying to confuse the evil ones who are in APC. Tinubu is gone. There is no country in the world that will have, first of all, a president like we have in this 21st century. It was a mistake. The Northerners and under Buhari, they were afraid of democracy. They were afraid of popular politics, where students, progressives, all kinds of people did what they did in 2022, 2023.
Yeah, but what do you mean by Tinubu is gone? It will take a doing to be able to remove him from office. I don't know why you say he's gone. Well,
because
why is he gone?
I am gonna cover that, but let me. I guess you're right. Let me try to speed it up a little bit. People like you, who are sitting on the fence, it doesn't matter to you who actually wins. So what you do sometimes is try to embellish Tinubu's powers, right? Tinubu was an aberration. It was a combination of the Northerners scared to death of people from the South, especially the Southeasterners, that they went ahead reluctantly and accepted Tinubu to be, Buhari wasn't going to do it. But it was El-Rufai and the Northern governors that went ahead and pushed him over, right? So if you look at the results of the rigged election, you're going to notice that in Tinubu's stronghold, where he claims to have built Lagos, he lost his precinct even, maybe his voting booth. He lost his state because they left that up to him to win, right? INEC did not try to rig the election to that degree. But Tinubu himself rigged the election in Lagos with his own method, which is with thugs and bribery. But there was a revolution going on, so that modus operandi did not work. He lost woefully in Lagos State. That performance was his best on his own merit. But Buhari is somebody who scared the whole country. He's a former military thug, jackbooted thug, committed a coup d'etat. So the whole country is afraid of him, the military-industrial complex. He's the true military guy, ex-military guy, not Tinubu. Tinubu is just talking nonsense about his, being in charge of the state apparatus, including the military, right? He doesn't. When push comes to shove, he's going to notice that if he causes a mutiny, then he's going to be in control and in charge of Yoruba soldiers, right? He won't be in charge of Northern soldiers. He won't be in charge of the Eastern soldiers. Then there's going to be a clash. Now, who's going to win if there's a mutiny? So he's not from that chip of the block. He's not a military guy, right? He may have some generals that he appointed, but when it comes to the soldiers, they're still Igbos, Fulanis, Hausas, and as military. He doesn't have control like somebody like Obasanjo or Buhari would have. So what they've done, okay, he was handed over. Buhari handed him over a lot of stuff. Instead of him broadening his appeal and his base, he was right there taking money, committing all kinds of fraud, right? Losing the stuff that was handed over to him. He's not that sophisticated. He's not. So it's you who's embellishing that he's tough, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Now, what I'm going to tell you is this. My theory is that he's not running for re-election. What he's doing is trying to maximize the amount of pound of money that he could extract from our economy, borrow to the limits, compensate his people.
That sounds like a very, very unusual a kind of analysis of where the direction of travel, because most people think definitely Tinubu is going to run.
Okay,
so
let me. What I'm saying, yeah, what I'm giving you here is super advanced stuff. I don't expect you to get it because you're looking at the picture, right? It's a long time from now. What's happening now is the remaking of Nigerian polity. You have some of our far gone statesmen come back into the polity. They're trying to form a coalition to just take that stuff without much violence, right? And that's what they're doing, and he cannot do anything about it. He's sitting there, he's borrowing money. You don't see any movement from him countering people like El-Rufai. Or you know what somebody, a military guy would have done, maybe arrest El-Rufai or do this. He's not doing anything like that because he can't. The moment he does it, then he's done. I just want you to know that he's not that powerful. He's not that smart.
I'm not saying it's not that powerful, but what I'm saying is that if you look into how the previous election or the results, it clearly indicates that because the parties were split, that's how he got into office. And if they become split again, and the way they are threatening to be, the idea that ADC is going to be on his own, P2B somehow is going to be on his own, either with PDP or Labour or some kind of other party. If that happens again, don't you think it is over?
No, it's not, because I just told you there are many ways to skin a cat. There is one thing, once he loses that, I could defeat him in an election. You could defeat him in an election, which is INEC rigging the election for him. INEC wire, that's all over the country. The people behind INEC, the military, Northerners, Southerners, all this, in essence, the system is designed to pick who's going to be president even before the election, right? When they do the election, they pick who's going to be the president. There are people who do that in our country, unfortunately. So those people have decided that he has to go. Now, what we don't know is who did they pick, right? The way they treat him, it's not something that he could end up surviving. If he survives, he's going to be able to deal with all these people. They're not going to let that happen. INEC is very instrumental, right? So what you're going to find out is how fast he lost everything that was handed to him. There was a lot handed to him. All he had to do was to perform. Instead of performing, he's over there being nepotistic. For example, we all know that Buhari was myopic and nepotistic, but you can't come in and say, okay, because Buhari did that, then you're going to do it for Southwesterners. That's short-sighted. That's not sophistication. You're supposed to then hit it out of the park so that Nigerians could see the difference between you and Buhari. You cannot say because Buhari did it, so why shouldn't I do it now?
Clearly, it appears from what you are saying, Buhari and President Tinubu, they are clearly not nationalists. If you look at maybe Obasanjo, you will see that he will not behave like that. And so maybe that's why they are doing what they are doing. That's part of democracy. Whenever you get into office, you start selecting people that are aligned with your views. Some people is aligned based on their ethnicity. Some of them, the state they come from. Some of them, religion. You never know. It just aligns. That's how democracy works. But I will leave it at that now. Let's move to AY so that they can contribute on the subject matter.
There's not that many of us because there were a lot of things you put on the table. I was just talking about Tinubu because you asked that question directly. There are other things that I want to touch on.
Oh no, we're going to talk about this one
first.
Plus
one that you missed, which is that Trump had dispatched a couple of nuclear tipped
nuclear submarines. I thought I covered that.
Okay, I might have missed it, but let me round up. It's customary here that even when a moderator wants to interrupt, then you're given a little room to.
No, we're going to talk about that one separately. We're going to. So you.
I'm talking about on the Tinubu thing. Let me round up on it, right? Because certain things are known right now. Certain things are not known, right? They're gonna come in with time, right? The things we know today is that he doesn't have the same gravitas as he had before. He is no longer an enigma like he was in 2023. We know his abilities now. We know what he's capable of doing, right? As far as solving the country's problems, right? We know he's made a lot of enemies now, even from the Southwest. People like Ariba Shola, for example. People like El-Rufai. Now, these are not people that you would write off. every single one of these people come to the table with something that's a pound of flesh to be extracted from his skinny bones. He didn't have much to stand on in the first place. So let me run it out to you, because there's something you do which a lot of granted, it's not only you, a lot of people who host here, you just want to run through stuff, right? You don't want to take time and listen. And once somebody makes a point, if they say that 10 is greater than 9 and you agree, then there's a lot of things they say in there. 10 is greater than 1, 10 is greater than 2. So when you're talking, you have to understand that the country has defined borders. We have from Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, all the way down to Akwa Ibom, right? If you take a look at the map, you're going to first of all find out that Tinubu did not win maybe more than 2 or 3 states in the last election. He didn't. So when it comes to rigging the election, shutting off that beavers, if those people who do that come together and say that he's out of here, he's gone. Right? He's not some kind of super military commander that's going to prevent a mutiny, like I said earlier. So I conclude with that, because what I want is for it to be done to where we fight it out. All
you have been saying is that you've not taken into account what the other side is doing. You keep saying people that appointed him, he's not a superpower, he's just another man rigging. But you are not taking into account that there is serious problem with the opposition. There is barely no opposition in this country right now. It's a serious problem we have in this country.
That is
and
not
maybe
true,
people
because
should be holding them accountable too.
You're not only are you not looking at the magnitude of it right now, you're not looking at the direction of flow. They started from no opposition to crafting one. It's right now, it's in Kuwait. A lot of it is made to confuse, because you have, even though I've downgraded Tinubu a little bit, he's also a very cunning person, right? With a lot of cash. So in Nigeria, if you have cash, you can be able to buy anything, right? Basically, the kind of money we're talking about. So they are confusing everybody, but they know what they're doing. There's a movement. It's only 2 years in this administration, so there's 2 more years to go. So they're building a natural opposition, not for legislation to stop his agenda, but to stop him. Amongst these people are killers. Now, nobody else is gonna say this to you. I'm gonna go ahead and do it, right? I can normally do it for you.
Pastor, do you want us to just make you a guest of today?
No.
Want other
Okay.
people to speak?
Okay, no problem.
We can make you a guest.
What do you think? Now you see that you invited AY to start this.
I hear, but there's not that many of us. If you want to know anything, I'll be able to tell you. But bear in mind what I'm telling you. This time around, you don't have a gentleman like Peter Obi who wants to go through the system. You have people here who, for example, administered tea to Abiola a few years ago, right? They have people who have killers here.
Let's move the mic
to AY.
Okay,
go ahead.
So, AY, so as I was saying, though, this is becoming a kind of secular information. Tomorrow they say it's not Peter Obi, it's Adigu, this, that. All these permutation, in the end, I've said it before, if it's not P2B and somebody like El-Rufai from the north running this election, any other person that runs will lose to Tinubu. Why? Because Tinubu is in office. Tinubu has influence over quite a lot of politicians, especially southern politicians now. And secondly, because the south vote and the southeastern vote, we always go vote for the southern candidate. Nothing you are going to do will change that. So if you like, choose whatever you want to choose from the north. They unite around one party in the north, they will still lose. And that's the thing, some of them need to get through their skull. No matter who you choose from the north, we lose to this in Tinubu right now. No matter who you choose. Because especially if it's Atiku, for that matter, the southeast is not going to vote for Atiku. They are going to vote for Tinubu or sit at home. The south is going to vote for Tinubu. That's what they do. History suggests that that's going to be their behavior. They don't hate Tinubu that much that they are going to vote another Fulani into office. They will not. They will still remember that all the Tinubu needs to do, remind them that the Atiku is another Fulani, just like Tinubu. Suddenly, the whole southeast The whole Southwest
It's
like
not true.
pass out to run
Before
in
he
that
answered,
direction.
it's not true. I'm telling you, don't listen to that.
Okay, you're saying
It's
that the South is the South is where they hear that's why they hate Tinubu. They don't like Buhari now because of that issue. Because
Father,
they
it's
feel
your
like he
turn
was
now,
soft.
or it's my turn? Who's
okay.
No, I'm asking you now. I'm asking
Yield
you
me.
the question.
Go ahead. Yield me 2 minutes of your time.
I'm asking you a question now. So
let me take 2 of your
Pastor,
2
you
minutes.
hold on.
move the
You
mic
hold
to
on.
AY
You
now.
hold on. You hold on. You hold on.
So what do you make of it though?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. 2027, right? I mean, people have been discussing this topic for long. I see a lot of people, it's just emotions, a lot of sentiment flying around. And Nigeria are hungry. Yes, Nigeria are hungry. Is there poverty in the land? Yes, there is poverty in the land. But sometimes, if you understand Nigeria, these stuff most time they don't translate to outcome of elections because, first of all, our elections they are 40, right? The power, the people don't have the power to really elect who they want. You could say to set this percentage, but what I'm gonna say, people with Sutusue and Magbadu, I don't care, I don't care. But what I'm gonna say, Tinubu is not it's not a easy nut to crack. If you think it's not. The only force I see that can give Tinubu problem, the only force, it has to be Peter Obi, Atiku, El-Rufai, all the political leaders. In fact, including Concourse, they need to come together and pick somebody. Like all of them will rally around that person with all their supporters, with their resources. Then Tinubu will know there is war. If, as we are going to this election, if you see Tinubu, Atiku, pick a ticket in a one party, Peter Obi pick a ticket in a different party, forget the election, it's over. Don't let anybody even deceive you. If you see that ticket split, it is a problem. Right now, I'm hearing Peter Obi want to go to PDP. If it is true, who is advising Peter Obi? What is he doing in PDP? PDP is locked down from we can control PDP. I will say this: Ivo Atiku could not collect that structure from Wike, and Atiku, I don't know if because of age. Recently, even in 2023, I was a bit looking at it politically. I was actually disappointed in his decisions. He did stoop low to conquer. Atiku could have been able to win 2023 election. He made a lot of mistakes. I don't know why he was doing that. The first mistake was not choosing Wike as vice president. That could have changed the outcome of the election. I'm not a fan of Wike. I bash Wike every day. The second mistake was after choosing Okowa, Wike was having negotiation. Okay, you need to let party chairman come to the south. Give it to Wike, even make him the campaign director. You did do all that. After election, Nigerian president is so powerful that after election, the ball is in your court. You can't decide to knock anybody off. But I feel those were big mistakes. And right now, if Atiku, even though I don't think Atiku should be presidential candidate of any party because of his age, because I don't know what he's looking for. I think Atiku should be playing with his grandkids, in all honesty. With due respect to him, Atiku does not have business with election in 2027. I'm saying it and I stand with that. I don't care what anybody is gonna say. But however, the opposition need Atiku. They need Atiku because Atiku is here a force. He has some weight in the north across the country. He has good weight, he has supporters. You can't really write him off like that. I think even Peter Obi, El-Rufai, those younger politicians, I think they should go have a meeting with Atiku and say, listen, you are our father, You know, I think we need your support. I think it's time for you to resign. You know, just have some kind of discussion and see what he's gonna say. Because in all honesty, Atiku by in 2027 is gonna be 80, 81. Like, what do you want? Let's be fair, you know. The work in Nigeria is even too much.
Can I interrupt you? Can I ask you a question?
Even Tinubu himself, he's too old. Even though he said 72, we know he's definitely more than 72. You know, this age counts as because Nigeria will have a lot of work. It's not America where 80-year-old the president. They have a structure, they have a system that is working. You are not actually the one really doing the job. For Nigeria, you have to be awake to get this job done. So we need younger blood, people that are fit. You saw what happened with late Buhari, right? So it's not because you hate the person, but if you really want, at 80, I don't want to be anywhere doing run around. I should be asking my God for forgiveness and stay in one cool place and be playing with my
Could you
grandkids.
take a question on the?
You know, I don't want to be
you
doing
take a
that.
question, AY? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. What the things you're saying now, every Nigerian knows that. So we're not missing anything by you going back to what you said earlier. You said if Atiku had picked Wike, it would have been a foregone conclusion. They would have won the election. Now, when you
bigger
make
chances to win the election, in my calculation, yeah, it would have been a way. I think they would be able to win the election. In all honesty,
okay,
any
so
good
here's a
politician will
question
tell
now.
you that.
I understand. I have a question. That's why I referred you back to that. You see, in that permutation, when you talk like that, do you include all the variables? Let's say INEC's activity, right? Do you believe INEC played a role in picking the winners and losers, right? Let's say Peter Obi lost, not because he's not able to muster what Atiku and Wike could produce, but because INEC and Buhari and those people rigged the election or shut off the beavers. So when you say what you said, are you putting in play by saying what you're saying is that, look, Atiku and Wike would have still done very well or even won, even if INEC rigged the election in favor of APC?
Okay, let me answer the question. You see, I've said it on this platform. It's not every election you can rig. There are elections where they will overwhelm you. You think in 2015, PDP did not ring. When we were telling you, for example, Peter Obi does not have structure, nobody knew what we were talking about. Peter Obi needed structure to win that election in such a way that there is nobody to protect Peter Obi's vote. That was the number one problem. If you analyze
I don't think
the
you're answering
election,
my question. It's not responsive.
yeah, I'm answering it.
Answer that one.
Answering
Let me make it easier for you. Let me make it.
No, Pastor, please hold on because Jide is there too.
I know, but I want to make it shorter so that he could answer it with a yes or no.
Atiku and Peter Obi, Atiku and Wike, they could have overwhelmed INEC in such a way that they will not be able to even rig the election. But of course, I know there was a bad play with INEC. I don't trust them in that election because I see no reason why you will not transmit those results electronically. It was to me there was something because the reason the game was not cogent, so I don't actually take that reason for not transmitting results. So definitely there was something behind that. But I know with Wike, probably they would have gotten the number before they even read the election is over. Because the reason I'm saying that, I will tell you the reason why I'm saying that. If you check Okowa could not give Atiku vote in the South because Okowa does not have political weight, not even in Delta State. Wike could have convincingly win River State, win some of the, in fact, even Oyo State, because Makinde was there. Even Delta, Wike had influence in the South, in Delta State, even in Akwa Ibom, a lot of these states, Wike could have a bigger fight, you know, to make sure he get vote for Atiku. You know, he had the resources, he had the network. So Wike control as at then, half of the structure of PDP. So the moment Wike said he did pick Wike pulled back. So he withdrew all his structure from PDP. I said, listen, support Tinubu. That was what happened. And that's a fact.
I think what you said is true, but I think you should have added that if Atiku had picked Wike, you probably wouldn't have seen the obedient movement as it became. It wouldn't have happened.
Obedient movement will be
I don't think it would have happened.
It would have reduced, but it will still be
significantly
there.
because what that would mean is that because there are a lot of people that were backing Wike because they saw him as what he was doing in Rivers State and everything at that time, and most of the supporters felt like he was like at least younger than Atiku and all the rest. So he was just more like a different version of P2B, maybe even a stronger version of P2B at that time. Because if Wike had won the ticket as he was going for PDP, forget the P2B phenomenon would not have happened at all. And that's what people are not.
That is not true. No, GD, I'm sorry, but forefathers.
I believe that it wouldn't have.
No, I know because you're from the creeks, right? See, hold on. Every section of Nigeria, they have their idiosyncrasies. The way you're looking at Wike, it's not the way, for example, me from the southeast is looking at Wike.
Actually, most southeasterners looked at Wike like that. You can say whatever you like. They saw Wike similar to the way they saw P2B.
Please hold on. That's not true.
They may not like Wike, but they saw Wike like that.
But listen now. I'm on record at Niger Watch and other platforms that I was. The way when somebody comes out and they're singing kindergarten rhymes like agreement. Southerners with their kai. They are over there clapping and singing kindergarten songs, right? So nobody, hold on now. Nobody else. No, wait a minute. Nobody else does that. Right? Now you have Wike in Abuja right now with that nonsense, right? With those kind of talk when he talks, he wants the press to complete his sentences. Those people don't have time for that, right? The way you guys, Wike, how many? It's just River State, just like Okowa. Somebody said here, Okowa brought Delta, right? Hold on. We lost. Hold on now. Listen, let me land. I'm trying to give you Wike in a nutshell.
No. Don't give me Wike in a nutshell. Let's bring Wike. I'm not asking you to give me a definition of Wike.
No.
Wike
I'm saying
clearly had influence. I don't think if he had gone into this election,
Wike is doing all that nonsense because a lot of us are in diaspora, right? If I was back home, right? He won't be able to do that nonsense. You guys, listen to me. Let me just tell you, and this is one problem I have. People, you're over there with one little state, right? Like Okowa, for example. We saw, what can somebody, people say, bring back Goodluck Jonathan. If you bring back Goodluck Jonathan from Bayelsa, now remember the Southeasterners, they look at the best person, and that's who they vote for in any election. It doesn't matter if it's Yaradua or anybody, OBJ or anybody. So if the Southeasterners are not going to vote for Goodluck Jonathan, who's going to vote for him? The Yorubas or the most? The
Southeasterners voted for Goodluck Jonathan.
That's what I'm saying now because he was the best at the time. They voted for him, but hold on now.
Oh,
if you not remove him,
come on, allow someone to speak.
No, I'm saying now, I'm responding to what you said already.
Time now.
Okay, I know, but do you mind if we conclude this? I wanna disabuse you of that nonsense that you do from the South. When you have one little guy from a little state. No, hold on now. I got the time from GD. Let me land. What I'm saying is that there is something you're doing, which is to when the Igbos, for example, Southeasterners are doing something, and you take one little tiny state, right, and you go, okay, we can also do it. You cannot do it because the Southeasterners. My village is bigger than your state.
See, politically, Wike was appearing stronger than Peter Obi during that time. Politically,
do you know how Peter Obi destroyed Showore by just saying, "Hey, Showore is somebody who is what do you say when you try to collect money from somebody? What do they call him, right? Do you know how if you go against Peter Obi, just with one sentence, you're gone now. Nigerians are not playing.
Somebody like that was the case. Somebody like in PDP. He didn't stand a chance in PDP where Wike was present.
No.
Wike was
Out
the
of
one
principle,
we
out of
waived at that
principle, he
time.
doesn't want
As
to
a
buy
matter of fact,
delegates.
Atiku came from
He
nowhere.
doesn't want to
Wike
pay
was the
for
one making the
delegates.
waves at that time.
He doesn't want to pay.
This guy will not let you go.
No, he doesn't want to pay for delegates. It's not. It's a matter of principle. But don't go equating Wike with
Fasad,
Peter
it's
Obi,
okay.
because
Let me finish.
even Aisha would defeat Wike.
look at that.
Aisha would defeat all these people you're trying to equate with.
Fasad,
Because
it's okay.
without
I
the
need to
5
speak.
southeastern
This is the
states,
part that
right?
you are speaking after the event. Before the event, all I saw was Wike was the dominant candidate.
No,
Even in
singing
the PDP.
agreement. Okay, I'm gonna
Atiku came
take
from
5
nowhere.
minutes break. I'm gonna take 5 minutes break. My
Don't
avatar
come
is
back.
come on.
Don't come
I'll be
back.
back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't remove
Don't
the
come
avatar.
back.
And get ready today, AYs. You and I understand.
Majority and minority. You are the minority today.
He's the minority now. So round up so that we can go to GD on this.
Yeah. It's easy. Forget what anybody is gonna say. Wike was a better vice presidential candidate than Okowa. Wike could have been able to turn the election, but don't rule out Peter Obi. You see, Peter Obi is not.
But hold on there. Oh, you never seem to ever countenance the idea that Wike could have even taken the ticket. Wike was close to taking that ticket. It was one guy that turned.
I know
on
now.
Wike.
I
He
know
was very
now. That's what
close
I'm
to
saying
taking
now.
that ticket.
It was former governor of Sokoto State, right? It was dying minute
Was
that
it Tamboa?
Tamboa, it was Tamboa.
Yeah,
So that was why
betrayed
Wike
him.
was paying, because Wike actually sponsored Tamboa against Atiku in the previous primaries. So
Imagine.
that was Wike paying. And Wike had half of the structure or more. You know, it was the sole sponsor of PDP for years. That is why you see he still dominated PDP till today. So that was the pain of Wike. For me, politically, not is Wike, will it be a good vice president? No, because Wike is too rowdy. So vice president needs to be
been
calm.
a reasonable FCT this thing.
It's not. That's a minister. When the president can decide to sack him tomorrow morning, nothing happened. So that was where that's where I'm blaming Atiku, right? Atiku, if I were in Atiku's shoes, you don't choose vice presidential candidate based on emotional assessment, except you know you have the number. Politicians pick in terms of number. I will choose Wike. After the election, I will restrict him. If he crosses the red line, I will knock him out. I will give him whatever he wants. You are the president. Nigerian president are so powerful. Just restrict him. You tell him, man, no. If he misbehaves, you knock him out. Period. This is the reality. If you are a politician, you understand what I'm talking about. But Atiku, I feel he needed Wike way more than, even after he chose Okowa, Atiku would have called Wike and said, listen, okay, what do you want? Okay, you be the campaign director. You be this. Okay, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this.
He did not make any effort.
He did not make any
effort.
So,
is hopeless,
so
man.
for me, those were
and he comes back again.
bloody mistakes. Then you are coming
But do you
back
call
again.
that mistake, or I see? Sometimes we look at these guys that will say they are just emotional mistakes, but these are people that invest. Sorry. Hold on. These are people that invest billions of naira in their election, and they are just emotional. Sometimes I feel like that guy is actually supporting Tinubu in a roundabout way, because the things he did didn't make sense. He just sabotaged the party, split the whole thing. And he didn't make any effort to even bring the party together at all.
They didn't make sense. Let me give you an example, right? Buhari hate corrupt politicians. If you know history of Buhari. So after Buhari contested 3 times, Buhari said it's not contested again. It's done. That is why you never see Buhari decamp to any party. It's either he's forming new party or he's forming alliance. Buhari never moved. He was in NPP for long. So Buhari hate corrupt politicians. He doesn't like people dealing with them in the north, in the south. That was the law Buhari had in the north, even when he was contested like Peter Obi, 10 million vote, 12 million vote against Obasanjo, against Yar'Adua, he was getting the vote. But he knew at some point I have to work with the devil to get this thing. So that was why he was able, that's why he was working with people like Tinubu or the corrupt politicians across the country. You will see he was still kind of like, you know what, that was why he made that statement, and for nobody and for everybody. So Buhari did not really play game. It's just that Tinubu is a very patient person. He could have fallen out with Buhari and not support him in second tenure. But Tinubu knew where he was going. So he was patient to allow. Tinubu was treated like shit under Buhari government. If it was somebody else, you would have seen a big fight. He would say, you know what, I have war chest. I'm going to fight this government. But he was smart enough to just allow things to slide. Today he's the president. So it's politics. You have got to be very calculated. You can easily lose election from those little mistakes. Recently, what happened in Edo State? When the present governor of Edo State, when they did primaries, Oshomole was supporting a different candidate. A lot of APC members were supporting the current governor. After the election, Oshomole candidate lost, but he does not have option. Now, okay, they went into agreement, let Oshomole candidate be the deputy governor. And they agreed. That was why they were able to fight. The moment you go to election with divided house, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
Right now, when you look at APC, I think they have, I don't know how many governors. They should have over 25 governors. That's a big one. So even when you analyze the election today, for example, Peter Obi, after Southeast, I think South was another region where he got a lot of votes. I'm not an evil a soothsayer. Peter Obi will not repeat that in the South side. Here is the reason. If you go to Edo, all the politicians, they are in one party. If you go to Delta, all the big politicians are in one party. Rivers is locked down by Wike. Akwa Ibom, all the politicians now, they move to APC. Usually, Akpabio was opposition in Akwa Ibom. He was the leader of APC. Then you have PDP. Akwa Ibom is a core PDP state. Now, all the politicians move to one party. In those states, it's so difficult because they will look for a way to rig the election. So they will lock down those states. So it's very difficult for Peter Obi to go to those states and pull out vote because there is no division. I don't know, it's really advised Peter Obi. If I were him, I wish I could actually write to him. There are some things he can do, but he needs that. If he does not get ADC ticket, I think Labour Party is sold out. It's going to be hard for him. I'm not going to lie to you. He needs that coalition. He needs that force.
Yeah, I know that if he
needs that force,
he has to find a way to have Atiku stand back.
Yeah, he has to find a way. He has to. That's what I'm telling you. He needs to calm down, find a way to talk to Atiku, find a way to have some kind of dialogue. Okay, you give me the vice president. If you don't want El-Rufai, give me a vice president. I will work with him. So if Atiku can really, even if it's his son, I will say no problem, but give us support. And AY,
if he does that, not only that will build momentum for that ADC, then because now it is with Atiku's blessing again. That is big.
Yeah.
And
you see,
if you look at the noise Kwankwaso is making now, too, Kwankwaso says some things that I don't think is easy to repair, where he was accusing the current government of building only in the south.
But I'm going to say this about Kwankwaso. I repeated it the last time. Anybody watching this team, mark my words, Kwankwaso will work for Tinubu. Mark my words. Even if he does not decamp to APC, he will work for Tinubu. Don't listen to him.
No, I don't see him decamping to APC. That completely is ruled out.
Just mark my words.
That's what you keep saying, but he came on this thing accusing the government of being only... That's a serious accusation.
I will come and tell you when it happens.
You come and tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, what would be the sign that he worked? So give me what would be the sign that he worked.
Don't listen to these guys.
I'm asking you a question now. What would be the sign that I need to see that he's working with APC?
See, that is exactly what I'm saying. What I'm just repeating about Atiku and Wike. Atiku can actually convince Kwankwaso if he need that coalition, because you need Kwankwaso. You need at least 1 million from Kano to even give you upper hand again. But Kwankwaso will not play for free. So you need to offer Kwankwaso something. What are you going to offer Kwankwaso? So these are all negotiations. That is why now I don't really have anything to say. At the end of the early next year, you will see things are going to be shaping up. A lot will happen, but let's just be watching. For now, I reserve my comment.
Yeah, please let me respond to AY for a minute.
No. Sorry, you are
No,
not responding to
TJ will not talk
you are
until
not
I'm here,
responding to
right?
anybody.
TJ would not want to talk until I'm here.
Pansat, I will stop before you
I
come
just
from
want to respond to what he said.
Pansat, stop. Let's
keep the conversation on now.
Yeah, Jide, welcome, Jide. So what do you make of this permutation? Because it's clear as day to anybody else other than this stupid. Okay, I will not call it stupid. Maybe, but they are crazy politicians. That's for sure. It's clear to everyone else that if they don't come together, they don't stand a chance against the current government. And they don't seem to be motivated. Everybody doing shakara. This one wants to go this side. This one wants to go this side. This one is saying, oh, this one, PDP should not do this one. PDP should surrender to ADC, not ADC to PDP. Where do you stand on all these shenanigans?
Where I stand, well, thank you so much. Well, good to see everybody. Thank you for having me. And greetings to everybody on the comment section and everyone listening and watching.
I think you should call me out when you greet everybody. You should say hello to Pansat. Not everybody, after you mentioned forefathers.
Look at that. You just have to call yourself out.
Okay, Pansat. Good to see Pansat, AY, and Solar. Okay, I've mentioned everyone. Okay, cool. So, my opinion on this, my position on this is not going to be very palatable to many people. You see, there's a proverb that says, everyone knows this proverb, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You see, these elites, they've shown it time and time again that they failed the people of Nigeria. They failed. Either they failed or they are just oppressors. I've said it before. These people, so the way bourgeois democracy works, which is what we're operating, which is what is currently being the oppression in Nigeria. Well, that's what we are under. We are under bourgeois democracy. The bourgeois elites, they just like the way footballers move from one club to another, based on their career or wherever. This bourgeois elites, Tinubu, Peter Obi, Atiku, you guys have mentioned their names, right? Wike, they keep moving from one political parties to another. So what you have with this bourgeois democratic system we have in Nigeria is they are vestiges. They are not necessarily political parties. They are vestiges. The political parties are agencies. They are not necessarily, because if you look at all the political parties, APC, PDP, look at that name, Labour Party. That name Labour Party doesn't even stand for the name itself. It does not even, it stands for the opposite of the name, Labour Party. ABC, all those political parties, they are agencies. Look, like Fofadas just mentioned, they move from one political party to another to try to dissuade the people. That was why I gave that proverb, because it seems like we should be ashamed of ourselves as Nigerian people. That these people, they keep deceiving us all the time. They keep moving from one political party to another, and we keep falling for it. Peter Obi used to be he was initially wasn't a candidate, the vice presidential candidate in 2019. I don't know if everyone has forgotten, with Atiku that lost that election. They were second, so now he's not trying to decide where we go to now, so that he's going to win, because it seems like the bourgeois democratic system, the bourgeois elites, they are after their own interests. They are after the interest of themselves to gain power. They are not after the development of Nigeria, the social development of Nigeria. That's not.
But Jide, we are talking in the context of the politicking. I understand the fact that all these politicians, most of them are not necessarily suitable for the office in terms of building a country that we are actually seeking. Yeah, but in terms of the politicking now, in terms of how to, let's say, the idea of unseating the current government. So which arrangement do you see as that has potential to unseat the current administration?
So if I'm part of the bourgeois elite, so I will answer your question just like as you asked. If I'm part of the bourgeois elite, and I would say, okay, one of them should win I want one of them to win the election. I'm seeing as everything is going on, the dynamics going on. I would say whoever is going to be a potential candidate, they have to persuade the northern elites and the northern region. The way Nigerian politics, if you look at Nigerian history and if you look at Nigerian politics, almost all of the people that have ruled Nigeria, they've always had strong alliances with the northern elites, or they have very strong camaraderie with the northern people, with the northern region. It has always been like that. So if Peter Obi being a Southeasterner, if he can win Lagos, he has a very good chance of winning. If he forms strong alliances with the northern elites and with the northern people of Nigeria, the Hausa Fulani, and he can even take advantage of what's going on in Benue State and try to capture Benue and Niger states currently with the crisis going on. If he can take that advantage and take over and win Benue State, which is now easy now because obviously the current government has failed. If Peter Obi can take that advantage, it is to his own doing. The northern region, to the northern elites, if he can find a way, it doesn't have to be through Atiku. Once the northern elites validates Peter Obi, he has a very strong chance of winning that election. Pascali, knowing the fact that he has captured Lagos State, that was me talking from being a bad guy, being part of them. Now, what is my own solution? My own solution has always
before
been
you go there, can I clarify something what you just said? Because you used the word bourgeois a couple of times. I guess you also call comrade and all that. Are you a communist?
I'm not a communist, no.
Okay. Are you, what you just described, which is true, do you see Peter Obi making inroads into the north from the news, from what's happening? Do you see him making inroads into the north from last time? So now, is there progress?
To be honest, that's a very good question. To be honest, we have to look at the one thing we need to understand is Peter Obi. I don't really follow so much of local politics in Nigeria, but from the news I've been following, it doesn't seem like he's very consistent with the way he moves in terms of his political willings and dealings. There was a time he formed alliances with PDP. Then later he moved to Labour Party. Then there was a time he was trying to form alliance with ADC. So even normally for a politician that is very smart and visionary and very pragmatic, you have to be very consistent with your ideals and your plans. It doesn't seem like someone that is very consistent. And
okay, finally, let me ask you something else, Jide. I'm sorry, I won't interrupt you again. When you were making comments about somebody winning, right? So that's the adjective, to win. Do you then differentiate that from the comparative, which will be easier win, and then the superlative, which is easiest win? Some of the prescriptions you're making could be the easiest way for Peter Obi to win, but the ones that you are knocking could also be an easier way for him to win, or just a win. In essence, you don't have one mode in which he's going to win it. Winning it might be easiest if he does what you're saying, because if you look at past elections, there is the Jonathan 2011 model, which is Jonathan defeating even Buhari at the time, right? And then 2015, where he lost.
You get your question out. You are taking too long.
I know. You don't have to be hostile. This is conversation.
I have to be, because
I'm trying to make him look good, right? Listen to me, Jide. What I'm saying is to use this. When you are talking, it looks to me that you take one model, which will be a win, which will be good. And then you discount the other ones, which could also be a win, but they're just harder it's a harder way to go, but it's still a win. Do you follow what I'm saying? So if you say you're being a good guy now because you told the truth, you said when you analyze it from an objective point of view, where you took out yourself from, say, Showore model, whereby you don't want to mix with corrupt politicians, okay, that's ideal. But in Nigeria, if you go to election without corrupt people, there's no way you're going to win. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to get your hands dirty. But then when you govern, which is a totally different thing, you don't have to govern with crooks. You could win with the help of everybody, just like when you guys say, come out and protest.
Let's not do this. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, I'll wait till it's my turn.
Let me conclude. Overall, regardless of if Peter Obi wins or not, my position still remains that grassroots mobilization, grassroots resistance has to continue. Ahead, between now, 2027, after 2027, we need to start. If we don't start in Nigeria, nothing is going to change. And me being a communist, I'm not a communist. I'm more of a conservative socialist, but I'll stop there for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done, Jide. Sola, thank you for joining us. So, is it only us or Nigerian politicians a little bit short-sighted, or they can't even see beyond their nose? How did they cannot see that they, based on the result of the previous election, that even the winning party got 36% of the vote, that they need to come together to ensure that they unseat him? I said they don't dislike the current president so much. If they claim to be a viable opposition, why are they not just simply saying, you know what, let's just share power. You take care of defense, you take care of education, you take care of this. Let's come together and unseat this guy. Why can't they just do that?
Okay, so I don't know, maybe you can hear me clearly. My own school of thought, I'm going to lean to a certain side at the moment. And number one, on this platform, and no disrespect to anyone, a lot of people on this platform don't understand Nigerian politics. They talk from their own point of view. But if you live in Nigeria, you will understand Nigerian politics. And like they say in local parlance, politics is local. And even Tinubu himself, who is the master of all this politicking, he when he got to Abuja, he understood that this is not Lagos. Nigeria no be Lagos. And that was the reason why he started the politicking early, because he saw the move. See, like Jide said, it's correct. All these guys, Tinubu, all of these guys, they are not doing the country good. They are making the country get worse. They're only coming in to bite the piece of the cake. Probably when Buhari got into power the last time, he sidelined Tinubu, who claimed that he was the one he was the kingmaker. Now Atiku wants to be the president, in which at the end of the day, when you ask yourself, is he the only one? I mean, can you not is there no anybody better in the north than Atiku? And if you look at what's it called, El Rufai, he was the champion. Even he was the spokesperson of the north that was even fighting against the northerners that were ruling against a southern president. And I have sat down to look at it, that even in the House of Representative and in the House of Representative and in Senate, it was also politicking. And I'll break it down for you. What's it called? Akpabio. They wanted to bring a northerner to be the Senate president, to be the number 3 man. But because of politicking, Tinubu refused it, brought a southerner who was a Christian and also a strong man, and had to bring a northerner to House of Representatives because he doesn't want to put a northerner to be the number 3 man, so that at the end of the day, they don't more or less push him out. So all of these things they are doing is selfish interest. They don't care about Nigerians, and that is the problem. Now, back to the people. An example is Edo. I am not saying Aswe Ighodalo was a better candidate. I don't have any candidates between them because both of them are the same. But you are seeing what Okpebholo is doing. I mean, it is total farce. It is total nonsense at the end of the day that is bringing back Edo line and all of these things. What is he using it for? More or less to embezzle more money. Him saying that, Obi has to come and ask him or take permission from him before entering his state is absolutely nonsense at the end of the day. Yes, if he enters the state and you know that Obi is there, what is there for you to call him to say, oh, guy, you're there around. Okay, I'm going to sell 1 or 2 people, just to support you. And in terms of Peter Obi, Jide as well has put it straight. I think this is what Obi's base is telling him, that look, nothing more than presidency. If you do VP, we are not going to vote for you. And also, he needs to also party with these guys, because without them, there will be problem. And I've said it repeatedly. The North, they are our problem in that country. They are our problem. And Tinubu saw it. And that's why you can see all this politicking. They don't care about Nigeria. It is never about Nigeria. If a spokesperson, what is his name? This guy from Borno that is currently a spokesperson for Tinubu, that was speaking against him. Even this Jonathan guy that also was speaking against Tinubu, said Tinubu is this, President Peter Obi at the time. Now all of them are working for Tinubu now. According to Kwankwaso, relating to Kwankwaso that Jide said, the main reason Kwankwaso is not in APC is because of the Ganduje. And that's why I say when people listen to Nigerian politics, they need to understand. Yes, is it Jide or Ayo that said it? It may be correct. Kwankwaso may work for Tinubu in 2027 as long as Ganduje is not there. And this move, apart from they say Ganduje is sick, this move of removing Ganduje as the APC chairman is another strategy for Tinubu to woo Kwankwaso to say, look, both of you are mortal enemies. I accept you guys, but can you work for me? Can you deliver Kano for me? Even a section of Kano. This is what I'll do for you. See, while we are sleeping, these guys are awake. They sleep during the day. They plot their permutation during the night. So Nigerian politics is simply about me taking my share now, and 2027 or
Hang on.
2031, somebody else is going to take over.
What do you think that President Tinubu can offer Kwankwaso now that would be, convincing?
Now, this is the point. So if you look at the politics, he can tell him that, look, I have people in the South. If you allow me do this time, I will support you in 2031 for presidency, because now it is shifting back to the North. You see, this is a game. It is a game. So it's for me to retain power now, because it is 2-term for the South. If you allow another Southern man to come in, I won't be there. You will not be able to, I might work against you. So he himself is politicking to say, look, I don't care. I don't mind though. You can work against me, but whatever you want if I enter in 2027, whoever is coming out in 2031, hopefully, maybe I'm still alive. I'm going to work against the person. And definitely I can bet you, Kwankwaso wants to be the president of Nigeria come the tenure of the North, if you get me. So it is politics.
But don't you think that Kwankwaso is not stupid? He knows that Tinubu will not have the kind of weight at that time, because APC would have been exposed as a government for quite a long time. That we're talking about Tinubu 16 straight years, and even PDP couldn't hack it. So Kwankwaso is not stupid. He knows that Tinubu's cachet by that time, and APC's will be quite low. Why would he want to jump back into a ship that is probably not going to be, democracy? Parties do get exhausted when they get into office.
But yes, because after Tinubu has gone now, APC is going to dismantle, definitely. That one, we know that one. But if you look at the trajectory, now it is for them in 2027, let's put 2027, but let's say, okay, a Southern person wins 2027, if not Tinubu. In 2031, which when it goes back to the North, you need to look at the trajectory. Who are the powers in the South that are going to support a northern president? And if you look at Wike, I want to digress here. People talk about Wike here, Wike there. At the end of the day, he was ready to become Atiku's VP until the Sokoto man betrayed him. And he supported the Sokoto man back then in 2023, or when did he? No, 20 whatever. When he supported him. So the betrayal was there, in which they now kicked him out. And if you also listen to Ali Baba, he said, Obasanjo said this, you need 7 people, 7 states, CBN governor, Kaduna, Rivers, and that is why currently Tinubu is wooing Delta State to rig the election. He is not going to win Delta State, everybody knows it. He is going to rig the election because it's a PDP state. They rigged Rivers, they will rig it again. They will rig everything from beginning to the end. We all know what's going to happen in 2027 because he has the CBN, he has the judiciary. So what are we talking about? Now is to settle whoever is in ADC to his side that are might and powerful, is to settle them. If you look at the trajectory of 2023, Tinubu focused on the north. He later came to the south, few places in the east, and that is just it. I mean, he didn't really go much into east, the 5 states in the east. He went to the south and some other place, but he focused majorly on in the north, and that is what he's currently doing. So if we want to look at this thing holistically, we have to understand the politics that all of them are playing, and we cannot remove the sentiment of anybody on this panel. But when it comes to Nigerian politics, forget. The people are a major problem, but the politicians are our major problem. But the people are not also helping.
Let me ask you before we move to Body.
Okay.
As a thought experiment, if there was a way P2B is able to convince someone like Kwankwaso to run as VP, then, which is crazy actually, given what people describe, then someone like Atiku gives his blessing to that because he's standing back, and they are all in ADC. Do you think that that kind of ticket poses a threat to the current government?
Okay, now Peter Obi himself, just only him alone, is a threat to Tinubu. They might say, oh no, they may say a lot of nonsense about it. Him alone is a threat to Tinubu because he's saying what the people want to hear. Secondly, and I'm not saying this that this is what is going to happen, but if Kwankwaso, and I dare him, say he's going to be a VP to Obi, he will be stoned in Kano. The Northerners, they loathe the Easterners. It's a known fact. Everybody, we might hide it, we might not say it is not true, but this is what I believe, and this is my opinion. The Northerners, they loathe the Easterners.
Yeah, but if you believe
and it
that,
shouldn't
hold
be.
on.
Let me ask.
Oh no, sorry, leave that. No, sorry, leave that, please.
No,
No, Pastor, don't do that.
I'm gonna leave if you're not gonna be fair here. If you're not gonna be fair, I'm gonna leave.
If you want to leave, then you can leave because you have to moderate now.
That's what's gonna happen.
Come on. So
you want to be here talking nonsense the whole time.
Don't do that now. You
don't want to challenge.
Oh, sorry. I want to challenge you. Let me speak, please.
No, would you let me ask me?
Can you let me speak? Let me speak. I need to move.
No, let me ask me.
No, sorry, I'm not going to let you ask a question now. Later on, you can ask a question when Body has made a point. Let me just ask him. This is you said.
Okay, I'm only going to give you this one. Don't be stupid on this platform.
You need to stop. Come on, you need to stop, man. Come on, stop that. See, you said the Northerners dislike the Southeasterners. These same Northerners that voted Jonathan. They also they classify people like Jonathan as Southeasterners. They did vote for. They voted mostly for Buhari, but they also supported Jonathan. Jonathan got a significant amount of votes, so it's not necessarily accurate that they loathe.
No. See. Forefathers.
Sometimes.
Forefathers. Let me correct this notion. Anything that is going to fix that country. If you listen to what Kwankwaso said, is it this week or last week? I think this week. That he said they are building roads in the south. They've not done anything in the north. The same Jonathan you're talking about, it was the same northerner that voted him out. They booted him out, they betrayed him. The only reason was that because everything he was doing was favoring the whole of Nigeria, not just one section. Throughout Buhari time, majority of the money that more or less where they developed, where the money was pumped to, it was in the north. What is the result?
Hold on. Some of this you are saying here. Hold on. I have to challenge some of this you are saying here, because to say that they booted and betrayed Jonathan, if anything, Jonathan betrayed them. It was a turn of a northerner to be ruling. Jonathan, the guy died. Jonathan took for 2 years, fine. Then he went and ran again. Fine. They voted him anyway. They voted him. Nigeria voted him. Southeast voted him. South voted him. Fine. Then he went and ran again. He would have run the country for 10 straight years. What is the betrayal there? Personally, if you ask me,
what's wrong?
Jonathan, no.
So did you? Are you counting the 2 years? Even if you counted the 2 years at the end of the day, is he not entitled to rule?
This is the thing I don't like about Nigerians and our people. We act as if the only war revolves around us all the time. We don't look at the objective truth for the entire country. What Jonathan did, he shouldn't have run again. After he ran, even personally, if it was some people that had honor, they said this is the turn of the North. I will step down after the first 2 years. It's the turn of the North to run again, because that was not my turn. My turn was
can I chime in? Can I chime in? No, can I chime in? You are belittling the conversation. Just hold on.
Let me finish my point. You will have your chance to
you made your point over and over.
Hold on.
I'm not gonna be here forever. I want to try.
Pastor, you need to stop. I'll put you backstage.
Go ahead. Put me backstage.
Stop it.
Have to let all that talk.
Let me finish my point, then you can talk. My point was that when we keep pretending as if Jonathan didn't do anything wrong in terms of how the Northerners feel about the politics, because that would have meant for about 20 years, Northerners ran the country for only 2 years. We don't think about how that feels to them. Or 18 years, I mean, they would have run the country for only 2 years. When during the democratic dispensation, when I was living in Nigeria around 1999, I knew they were talking about rotational system of government. Even if they didn't codify it into the constitution, it was rotational that they believed in. So Jonathan should have not run again, because his own position was to run as VP, not as the president.
Okay. Sorry, forefathers. Let me round up now. Look, I get your point, because it's a rotational system. But now, see, having Peter Obi there, I will want Peter Obi to be there. I want him to be the president of Nigeria, because definitely there are some things they are saying that he wants to do that they will not allow him to do, which is the right thing to do. Then, probably later on we can things can be going right. But to be honest with you, that question you asked, having Atiku can never give Peter Obi to say, oh, I give you your blessing to rule. But if he did, then it would be a very, very fierce contest. To be honest with you, it will be a fierce contest, because the Gen Zs and a lot of all these youth, they are behind Obi. So even regardless of this, I can even tell you they are rigging this election. Obi or no Obi factor, they will rig it.
You didn't answer the question fully. If Kwangwanso and Obi were together, and Obi says I will run for 4 years, it means that Kwangwanso will have a chance to become president very, very quickly after Obi's term. Do you think that would be a strong challenge against the current administration?
100%, because Kwangwanso has majority. A part of majority, I won't say majority, I'll try majority in Kano, but he has his Kwankwasia movement, just as well as the Ganduje, but he has more of the Kwankwasia movement. Now, Obi has more or less voters in the south, be it anywhere, south, southeast, south, anywhere, even in the middle belt, all over. Obi has all over, but they know that southern Nigeria, both Yoruba, Igbo, or anybody in that south Nigeria, they will vote for Obi, and I agree. It is going to be. That's why I said it's going to be a fierce battle, which at the end of the day they will rig the election. I rest my case. Let somebody else
Please don't rest your case. I have a question for you.
Buddy, let bring Buddy in. It's been a while. Buddy, welcome.
Can I ask a question though before you go to Buddy?
I'm sorry. You can ask Buddy. You can ask Buddy. We have to move on. Let me moderate this. I know that it's not nice for you not to ask a question, but time is not on our side.
Why can't you make Pansa one of the moderators? So you can pick over one of these.
That would be chaotic. No, he makes for a good moderator, Suddenly he'll be quiet. It's funny. The moment he's a moderator, he's quiet.
Somebody gave a good presentation, and then he reduced the subject. And then he won't let me talk.
I want to move it on, but
move on. Okay, that's fine. Move on.
I want to move it on to Body so that he can have a chance. Then he to come back to you anyway. So
go ahead. But still, I have to call out injustice.
We need to go to another discussion because there are quite a lot of things we need to discuss. Not only this matter. This is a simple matter personally. So, Body.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about this? ADC, P2B, Tamboa, Aerofire, or Kwakwaso work together. With the blessing of Atiku, is it formidable against the current administration? Straightforward. Don't start waffling around this thing. We don't have a lot of time to waffle. Please give us straight answers.
In short, time is no more on the side of Atiku anymore. And like I said the other time, about 2 weeks ago, I said the organizer of the ADC is Atiku. And the first thing I said that is that the venue where they had that event, who procured it? Who procured the party? Atiku. So it's the owner of the party. It's the one organizing it. It's his chance. And I don't think he can give it away. So that's one thing about Atiku. It has been consistent with that. He has an argument for every time. Way back in 2003, he said this is stone. In 2007 again, he said this is stone. Every year is his stone. And you think that kind of person will move out of PDP and organize this kind of arrangement and they will give it to someone else?
No, the question is not about whether he's going to give away. The question is, what if he does? What would you think would be the outcome?
If he does, and they will be very formidable. The election is going to be a two-horse race. That means it's going to be between the APC and the ADC. So nobody can tell the outcome of it.
Did you say nobody can tell the outcome?
Yes.
Is it not very obvious? If you have a candidate like Atiku endorsing a ticket between P2B and one other major northern candidate, which they have options. If you think about it, they have Tamboa, they have Aerofire. The only one that we don't know that they have is Kwakwanso. Okay. But if they have those, don't you think it will be formidable?
As I said, it's going to be formidable. But the outcome of that election, we can't tell. We can't predict it. Is that it's going to end in a straight win or a rerun? You know why? There's one thing in mathematics we call variations. Those variables don't remain constant. They change every time. You can't combine. If you look at the success of the last election, you can say, oh, Obi is bringing votes from the east, from the south, in combination plus Atiku from the north. That probably is going to that will result in a straight winning. Remember, Atiku contested under the platform of PDP last election. He has moved out. That's half divided by that's 1 divided by 2. You get it? And Obi as well, moving out of the Labour Party. That's another half. That's another 1 divided by 2. And Tinubu wasn't in government way back in 2023 when we had that election. He has his own horde stacked against him as well.
No, sorry, hold on. I think you are doing some divisions here that seems to be a little bit sketchy. Oh. When you say P2B leaving Labour is half divided by 2.
Yes, if you take
it's 1 divided by 2, but it's not even 1 divided by 2. It's 1 divided by 0.00. The original Labour Party. Yeah. The original Labour Party had about a few thousand votes max. So we're talking about the real heart of Labour Party living.
The fact you guys are missing is this: not the only obedience make the Labour Party blocks. They have Labour organization. They have CLOs.
No. Hold on. I think you are trying to create another narrative here.
No.
What was the maximum? Let me ask you now. Hold on. What was the maximum vote Labour has ever had with all those things you just described?
No, let me tell you one thing. What happened in 2023?
Please, it's a straight question. You waffle a lot and you want to create a narrative. I'm not going to let you create a narrative. You have to ask a specific question.
Let me give you a context so that you appreciate what happened in 2023.
Okay.
You know what happened in 2023 has never happened before. The labor union and its affiliates and its organs, they are docile. They are either a member of different political party, not being committed to Labour Party as a political party. This is the first time. 2023 was the first time whereby Labour Union and its affiliates come together and back their party. Did you get that?
So why do you think that happened?
Because this is the first time they're having an arrowhead in that political party contesting for president.
So you know what you are doing. You are trying to say that the Labour vote came from an element of the structure, not necessarily P2B.
Because that's the first time they're having a formidable person. Remember, check in the history of Labour Party. They've never had a formidable person as well.
So are you saying that if P2B leaves Labour Party, Labour Party
is not going to enjoy that block vote of the
Hold on. I'm asking a straight question. Hold on, calm down. Are you saying Labour Party is going to get 1 million votes if P2B leaves there?
No, it's going to scatter. It's like
see, please answer a question. Are they going to get up to 1 million votes if Labour leaves Labour Party? Exactly, that's my point. So it's not divided by two.
It's like you ask a question about where is Buhari 12 million votes. It's like you asking us where is Buhari 12 million votes. That's the kind of question you should be asking as well. So
no, Buhari 10 million votes is in APC.
It's not in APC. It has scattered.
No, it didn't scatter anywhere. Why do you think? No, sorry. Why do you think? What's his name?
That's why I introduced the dimension of mathematical dimension to you. There's what we call variation. There's what we call direct. There's what we call inverse variations in mathematics.
No, hold on. I think you are over talking. You are not answering the question. You are creating a narrative.
I'm answering the question, but
hold on. Calm down. That's why you are slow down. We are not roaring. You are not going to create a narrative and get away with it. You have to justify every single point you make.
Okay.
Every single word you made. Okay. You said Buhari had 10 million votes. 12 million votes. Yeah. That where did he run to? No party got 12 million votes.
Yeah.
No party did. So, but yet the party that he belongs to is the one that came out at the top. Still.
Yeah, but they still don't have that 12 million.
Yes, they don't have that 12 million. None of them came with 12 million votes. So that came by default. So, but in the case of what the question you have to ask is, where did the bulk of their vote go? You can see that the bulk of their vote still went to APC anyway.
Yeah, the bulk went to APC. Fine. Yeah, I agree.
And the same thing with obedient vote. If obedient
definitely.
Most of the vote is going to leave Labour.
What I'm saying is this. So, Father, please listen.
So it's not divided by two. That's the point I'm making. Because you're making that kind of false narrative.
The point I want you to appreciate is this. What happened to Labour Party in 2023 is not factor of obedience alone. It's a coalition. So you need to appreciate the fact that the Labour Union and its affiliate and its organ, all these Labour forces, NUT, ASU, everybody.
What is the point of saying this if they cannot win 1 million votes? Move on from that point.
No, because the way you are saying is that like the vote that will be had in last election is transferable to any party that is going to.
Actually, it will be transferable if it's P2B is the main ticket anywhere else.
Forefather, we leave that. That's prosperous anyway, but we leave that for time to judge. We will still come back and discuss about it, but it doesn't work like that. That's why I asked you about 12 million votes of Buhari. If Buhari contested today, he wants to get that 12 million votes.
Bulk of that vote is stayed with APC. I don't know why you are saying that.
Let's move ahead.
You made the point earlier on that these institutions were the ones that created the vote. Then later on, you backed off it.
Because I'm not backing off. I'm saying they are not going those votes.
Clearly, because they were there when they did. The Labour Party didn't win a significant amount of votes at all. They didn't even go near 100,000 votes.
The premise that I lay for you, forefather, is this. Where were they before? Let's guess. Where were those Labour Union? I said probably
we are not getting a lot of votes. That's the important thing. I don't care where they were.
I'm not saying Labour Party. I'm saying the Labour Union force.
I don't care where they were. They were not getting enough votes. And hold on.
Okay.
Why do you suddenly are attributing the votes of Peter Obi to the Labour Union.
Suddenly. No, you don't get it. I said, oh, forefather, don't misquote me. Listen carefully. Listen. I said, the entire force of Obi is a coalition. It's not. What will I call it? It's not like you say, oh, obedient vote.
It's a coalition, not under Labour, under Peter Obi.
It's a coalition. That's why when you go to last election 2023, if you look at the governorship election results, that's why that same result that happened presidential election.
It's a coalition, not under Labour. It's a coalition, not under Labour, under Peter Obi. I don't know why you keep trying to.
Let me make my point. It's my point. Let me make it. Let's
move on now.
Was it not Peter Obi that? Was it not the president that said we have to be factual before we amplify it? Don't come here and amplify falsehood.
Listen. You said Obi has 8. Okay, let's say Obi has 6 million votes. In bulk, that's Obi's vote.
Yes.
About 2 weeks later or a week later, they had a governorship election, of which Obi had Labour Party as governorship candidates all around.
Yes.
Why can't that same result translate to a success for that same party or candidate under that same party? If you ask that vote,
you are making my point. You are making my point.
If you ask that same vote,
oh my God, are you listening? Because it's a coalition under Peter Obi, not under Labour.
Because you vote for me in presidential election, vote for Labour Party candidates.
Because it's under Peter Obi, it's not under Labour or any other structure, it's under Peter Obi.
These are the same people that came together. You know, the guy in Lagos supported Obi. He rallied vote for Obi.
Then why didn't he rally vote for himself?
His effort is part of Obi's success. Why
didn't he rally vote for himself if he can rally vote for Peter Obi? I keep telling you.
Why can't Obi go to that state and translate his success to that guy's success?
Because it's not him. Oh my God! Because it's not him. Oh my God!
I know, but why do you like this cat fight all the time? Why are you indulging? Why are you doing this?
Forefather, we won't agree on this because this is
he's telling you to move on. He's saying move on. He told you to move on.
He doesn't seem to understand it. You keep making the same point that I'm making. It's because it's not Peter Obi that is on the ticket. That's why they keep losing. How is that even confusing?
So forefather, you are not saying that means we are projecting a candidate that will not have a majority in the National Assembly. That's what you're saying. Yeah, so you setting Obi up for a failure already.
No, it is possible. That is the case. See, Labour Party didn't get a third of the this National Assembly members in this last election, even if they won a third of the vote. So they didn't get it. So is that not obvious?
And if you look at National Assembly election and the presidential election, it happened same day.
And I think P2B has governed like that in his state too, where he was a minority in this, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not unheard of for people to govern when they are minority.
That's a state
assembly.
It has never happened in the National Assembly election. In the presidential level. So
I just wanted you not to paint a wrong narrative. That's why I challenge you.
No, wrong. No,
it is wrong. It is clearly wrong because you use the term that Labour Party is split in half, which is not true. If PWB is done in half, Labour Party remaining with the little that
you know certain about that. And I said, and I conclude, I
am actually certain about something like that.
Leave time to judge that.
I can't believe you just said that I'm not certain about that.
Okay, move to another question.
Forefathers, it's my turn. I want to make my comments and leave. Right? Forefathers, I want to make my comments and leave. I can't stand you moderating. I cannot stand you moderating.
I don't ask your question. Ask your question. I never finished.
You have not been. You haven't been.
I wanted us to go to a different topic.
Let's go to another topic.
Hold up, buddy. We all just spoke about that. Every panelist spoke about that, and they didn't go to other ones. But forefathers trying to make you reasonable is mission impossible, right? And he knows that. There's no way he's going to make you be a reasonable panelists here, right? So there's no, it's going to take you years to do something like that if it's possible. But let me say that we've had elections in the past, right? We for example, every election is going to model after one or the other ones we had in the past. I believe this is going to model 2015, whereby external forces intervened in our election from America and Britain to remove an incumbent president. It wasn't Buhari that did that. That's what happened. They called Jonathan and told him to vacate the place, right? Obama, John Kerry, and the rest of them. That's what happened. But I don't expect.
That's not factual. That's
well,
not
I can make the case another time. That's not what I want to talk about. But if you look at the results of the 2011 presidential election, Goodluck Jonathan, in that case, got 22.4 million votes, and Buhari got his 12 million votes. That's where that comes from. And then Nuhu Ribadu came third with 2 million votes with ACN. And then AMPP, in that case, got less than 1 million votes, Ibrahim Shakar, right?
Yeah.
But none of these are constants, like you said earlier. There was something I thought you were going to do brilliantly with what are constants and then what are variables, right? But you didn't do that, but at least I give you credit for the notion, right? A lot of the things that others have said here are based on everything that Forefather says. They are usually variables, things that could change every election cycle, right? None of it. Now, you are not immune from that mistake too. A lot of the things you're talking about are variables. But you have the notion.
What would have helped for P is to recreate 2011 templates. I didn't know. Provided was able to get
he's got that.
He would have been able to recreate what Jonathan did in 2011.
He's got that, right? Because the only thing to calculate that is who's more popular.
Even despite the hold back then, despite the APC.
Yeah, if
a
lot of things,
we just passed off 2 million votes.
Yeah, a lot of things that Jonathan had, Obi have now in the bag already. Obi is more popular. Obi is more credible. Obi is an incorruptible guy, right? Obi's support comes from the entire Nigeria, no matter what all these evil people talk about. Now, I believe that Sola made a lot of the points. I will not make them redundant here, unless somebody wants to hear something different from the facts. The point is that Obi is more popular than Jonathan. So that 22 million votes, in the sense that you and I talk about, are variable, but you could pretty much give that to him here. The new thing that's coming about in 2027 that was absent in 2023 is that if you rig, you die, right? In the coalition that Obi is joining now,
rig, you die.
Well, that's you've heard nothing I said, right? You've heard. Let me land. Now, I'm gonna be stricter because let me land now. I'm gonna be stricter with my time because I have a hostile. Buddy, when I'm talking, I want you to be able to pay attention because everything I say is gonna be the way it is. Yeah. So what I'm saying is this: there's only last time I was talking to Masker here, probably about 2 months ago. I say, hey, look. We do need a coalition with Northerners. What do Northerners bring to the table? It's not rocket science. We don't want to teach us anything in science. What we want from Northerners is violence. The T they gave to Abiola, for example, right? If they say that if you rig, you die, I believe them. You heard Erufai's son say the other day, right? I saw Obi, much to my chagrin, holding Rufai's hand about a month or two ago here, walking around,
going for Mars,
which wasn't a good picture, but that only goes to show there's an alliance created, and the Northerners are going to bring that stuff I'm talking about, which is their violence. They're terrorists up there, and they're not going to let anybody. Maska is here, so it's not like I'm talking behind his back. He is listening. He's wearing that cap, and I like it now, right? I want him to. I want Northerners to bring what they've got, which is violence. So now, if they say
you shouldn't be advocating violence here, no.
No, but violence, it depends. See, there's something called the represented.
Pastor, let me help you. Pastor is not bringing violence, but the threat of violence, not violence itself.
That's right. If you do the wrong thing, listen to me. I used to say, we want to change the country. The Northerners have to do the right thing. They don't. I don't want to be terrorists. But now I want them on my side, right? So now listen to what I'm saying. If you rig, you die. Now that's not a joke. Without rigging, Tinubu will not win a single state. I want that to sink in our body. Right now, he might have won 2 or 3 in 2023 from the Southwest, somewhere there, right? He didn't win any other place. But Buhari, El-Rufai, all these people know how to do it, how to rig it, right? Northerners, that's who did it. The INEC chairman.
Hey, Pansa.
Let
What
me land.
was the result of 2027 election in the National Assembly in Kaduna?
2027 or 2023?
2023, I mean. What was the result of National Assembly election?
That's irrelevant. Gubernatorial
It's relevant.
stuff. No, those are
time. It's 2 minutes.
Let me land. Because after this, I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
No,
I have no respect here. Forefathers is muting me. This is a guy. Okay, let me say this. The election is coming now. Now here's what irritates me. We Nigerians are supposed to sit here and listen to insinuations of people pointing to, hey, look, this guy is clever. Tinubu, he could rig the election. He will pay off our INEC. He will do things that are clearly against the law. And then we're not supposed to say anything about it. We're not supposed to challenge that. We're supposed to live with it. Now, I disagree with that. I believe that if he rigs anybody who rigs this election, or even before the election itself, there are people who should be accounted for. The Wikis, the Asare Dokubos, the Tony Kabakas, the MCA Olomos. These guys, they're either going to abstain, or they're going to be 6 feet underground, or they're going to be in custody. If they try to rig that election this time, because Nigeria is a three-legged stool, all the Northerners have to do is to agree with people in the South, Southeast, South, that if anybody rigs that election, that we're going to capture them, right? That includes Tinubu himself. And he won't be able to do anything.
Yeah, I think let's end it with the 3 minutes.
Let me land now. You said
so
2
your
minutes.
time is up. It's more than 2 minutes already. I give you 3 minutes already. You are still going on.
I appreciate it, but I'm gonna leave as well.
This is not threat for the book of violence.
I'll be listening. Right? Like Masker said, if you break our laws, there's a potential for violence, either state or the represented. The people, they are not going to be put up with any nonsense this time around. And I want you to know, it's not a joke. Like when you come here, you're making discussions on things that have been settled. You know that Peter Obi has reached out to the North, and the North has reached out to him, and they're forming a coalition to put things together. Then you come and you say, you know what? If Peter Obi reaches out to the North, what the hell do you think he's been doing? You don't see it. So why ask a question of which the answer is very clear? And of course, Master, there's a question for me. What is it?
No more question. Don't ask him anything. No, he doesn't have the time. Take Pansa's number. Take Pansa's number. I want to be the topic now.
How is the election coming up?
We'll be out of time before long. Don't ask him question, body. Stop encouraging him. The moment you go and ask a question, that it goes on for the next 30 minutes. What are we going to do? Okay, so should I change the topic, or we remain with this? Because there's something else that I think we should address. I don't know. Maybe I should bring it on. Regarding this week, there was this guy that came on TVC to discuss about refineries in Nigeria, and I think there was the move to ban import of petroleum into Nigeria. And let's play this so that you guys can hear what I was a little bit furious to hear this guy, nobody challenging him.
Let us look at this thing from another perspective. If we stop importing fuel, will it be good for the Nigerian economy? Taking every other thing into consideration. Let's say it wouldn't look as if Dangote is going to have a monopoly. We have competition. We have other people that are refining fuel in Nigeria. And we decide, look, we are not going to import fuel anymore. What are the advantages of that kind of decision?
I don't see any advantage to it. We have to first think about it this way. When the president said Nigeria first, Nigeria is not a geographical expression. Okay, maybe I will not describe Nigeria as a geographical expression, but the Nigeria we have today is the representation of the people. So we have to think about what is best for the people first, not what is operating within Nigeria. So when we are now talking about, what is, this stopping the importation of fuel, you guys were talking in the studio about meter. You know that one of the reasons why the meter is cut is because there's a cabal that was even attacking President Tinubu when he was trying to get meters to come into Nigeria from Germany, saying that we should always buy from us. So this is what they do. This is the history. Go and look at all our businessmen. Read about them on Wikipedia, anything. A lot of them got exclusive rights at the expense of us, of you and me. You know, we've been brainwashed to believe that Dangote refinery is our father's property. No, it belongs to Dangote and his shareholders. What belongs to you is your ability to put fuel in your car and get it without going through any form of hassle. And that is what the job of the president should be. The duty of the president is not to ensure that Dangote makes money or Nigerian businessmen make money. His duty is to ensure that the environment is good, so that should they do good business, they are going to make money. And that is what the president has tried to do with all this liberalization move. But if he should go and give Dangote that, he has just served into his hand. And I'm pretty sure they are going to use it because, like I've always said, the elite are not happy with this dollar unification. And they are going to wield their power. And that is why, like, I know you probably guessed I was going to mention this about food that I have been talking about. Let us think about it this way. Well, is food for machine. Food is fuel for human beings. Now, think about the fact that Dangote is trying to let us ban importation of the food for machine. Think about the impact it will have on our economy downstream. Imagine if we had now put maybe 70% import duty on the food for machine, like we have on rice, flour, sugar, and all these other things. What would be the effect? That scarcity, that severe starvation. What you need is competition. Competition will make you to go under the stress that you need to innovate. And I'll give you an example in history, not long history, just about 10 years ago, when the Saudi and the United States were having price war. The Saudis decided that they were going to flood the market with a lot of petrol so that American fracking, because America is a high cost producer, that American fracking will not be productive. So they wanted to crash the price. But guess what the Americans did? Yes, some people lost jobs in that sector, but just for a little while. They innovated, they discovered that instead of drilling their own down, they could drill it horizontally, and they made so many other innovations that made sure that their fracking was still productive. At the end of the day, Saudi Arabia had to tap out, and now we don't have OPEC alone, we have OPEC plus, because everybody has realized that we now all have to work together. So that was, those innovations were based on the Americas, America was.
Man, this guy made me furious, man. I don't even know where to start with him. He made me really furious. Because what he was doing there was conflating so many things that don't even relate, that doesn't correlate. Like the Saudi Arabia, this thing. Saudi Arabia is another country, America is another country. We're talking about the same country here. Somebody's importing, you're talking about spending our foreign currency to buy petroleum that we actually manufacture in Nigeria. That's what we are talking about here. And all of them were just nodding and listening to him. It's like, what kind of nonsense is this? Like, he's talking as if Microsoft is not a monopoly. He's talking as if Google is not a monopoly. He's talking about like Jeff Bezos is not a monopoly. Where did he get the idea that monopolies don't exist? The Dutch East India Company that we talk about is one of the biggest monopolies in history. They have militaries that were bigger than militaries of nations. They were massive monopolies, and they transformed the world with that monopoly. It's crazy. Man, so these are people there. They are the ones killing Nigeria. Literally, his argument is, let's open it up so that we can be buying more petroleum. Not saying Nigeria should build more refineries. Stop buying. His first instinct should be stop buying petroleum because it costs Nigeria 37% of demand of foreign currency. Nigeria spends 33% of the demand of its foreign currency buying petrol products. Why is he not saying stop that one? Because he's damaging the Nigerian people, the so-called people that he claims to care about. Because if you don't demand the dollar, what is going to happen? The Nigerian currency is going to appreciate. And when the Nigerian currency appreciates, guess what is going to happen? Fuel price is going to crash. And price is going to be cheaper for people. And remember, people's salaries have been improved now. Their money will even go further. People will feel richer in Nigeria. But it's not saying that. He's not saying that we should reduce the demand for the dollar. He's just saying let them keep importing petroleum because they're going to compete with Dangote just for the sake of it, for the hell of it. You forget that where they are buying it from is foreign countries. You are buying those petrol from foreign countries, creating jobs in foreign countries. These type of people, for the life of me, they are the one finishing the country, and he knows what he's saying. He's not dumb. He knows exactly what he's doing. But I'll leave it for you guys to carry on, because these are nonsense you hear in Nigeria all the time. That it blows my mind when I hear them talking about these things. Master, what do you make of this comment that the guy is making? By the way, the guy is funny. By the way, he said some funny stuff, but for the life of me, his argument was deliberately malicious.
But I would suspect that by now you will know my position on this. You will know I will side with the guy.
Oh, you side with the guy? I didn't know that, though. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay, give us your argument then. I didn't know that.
Okay. My basic understanding is that yes, it will not make sense for the government to say, today, we ban importation of petroleum. On what basis? Simply because Dangote is now producing? I don't think that should be a smart move. The truth is that, okay, sorry, I shouldn't use the word the truth. My understanding is that these things should be allowed to find their levels.
That's right.
Okay? If Dangote's product to start with is the best quality petroleum vis-a-vis petroleum that's imported, I don't think you need to ban any importation for people to gravitate towards the high quality petroleum that Dangote is producing. That's one. If Dangote's petroleum is cheaper than the imported petroleum, you don't need to ban any import for people to gravitate towards Dangote's petroleum. So why in the world would you want to go the extra mile to buy? What would be the expected?
I don't understand. This is why, you see, this is why our country will never develop, because our mindset is so. I don't know how we think. I really don't understand it.
Father, listen.
This is why this country will never develop.
In a free market economy, if you don't understand, in a free market economy, the role of the government, the role of the government is to
free market economy does not exist. My argument
doesn't exist.
My argument is not a free economy argument because it doesn't exist. Okay, the whole of 2025 is about tariff. Yes or no? So I'm not going towards.
No, free market economy does not mean that economy is free. That means the free flow, freedom to trade.
Look, every human
you can be freedom to trade. Don't use our dollars to trade. Go and get your own dollar from overseas.
Realize these people were there before Dangote, and they have the infrastructure around their business. They'll build that infrastructure over time.
Why didn't they go and invest in Dangote? If they mean well for your country, why do you keep demanding foreign currency? They are boosting the value of the dollar. Sorry, go ahead, Master.
My argument, like I said, is that, okay, so let's even go back. Let me rewind back a little bit and give you a classic example. When the government set price for dollar, that this is the price you must buy dollar, was there no black market?
There was black market.
So it will be exactly the same thing if you say, if all I'm saying is that if Dangote's product is not the best currently in the market, even if you ban importation of petroleum, people will still find a way of importing this petroleum. So I don't think that should not be the worry of government.
Okay, honestly. So then what you are describing is an administration problem.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's the thing in Nigeria. We have an administration problem. We will turn it to a policy problem.
Further, you know, the simple example that I easily look at is
when everybody speak, because he has a way of entering somebody's.
I just want to quickly point to something. Okay. You know, the quick example I can easily point to is like during Buhari's regime, there's this blanket ban on rice importation. despite that the government like try to empower the local producers and the likes, people still find a way to bring this rice in. And we even find out that even the imported rice are more cheaper than the locally produced rice. I didn't mean that the government allow it. It will have created a kind of competition between both markets. And you know, what people want is the cheap energy and available energy. Whoever can produce that, that's what we are here for. And
actually,
it's not.
Like,
I support what forefathers is saying, that the government should protect an industry.
No, government don't protect. Government support. Why government protects the consumers?
They do.
This is why this guy. Okay,
what is the difference between support and protect?
American government producing anything, but they are busy doing tariff discussion. They are protecting their industry. Let's not fool ourselves.
Exactly.
There's protection. Protection is real in economics.
It's always been there. I don't know why we think there is free market.
At the expense of the consumers.
It's not. See, these are political arguments. Which one is at the expense of consumer? Is government saying you must buy this one? No, that argument is also not correct. All I'm saying, I agree with you, is an administrative issue. Okay, I don't think at this point, if we have sufficient refineries, not only one, that is up and coming. Okay. Yes, you can say, or maybe the refinery is having problems.
That's why the consumer part comes in.
But think about it though. Think about it. See, we keep saying buy Nigeria, buy Nigeria, buy Nigeria. Now the government says stop importing petrol. Do you know what will happen? People are just thinking that it's only Dangote. No, there are so hold on, please. There are many refineries that are in Nigeria that don't have incentive to go and start cracking right now. Suddenly, they will have an incentive to start cracking to and challenge Dangote. And I agree with the point. Now and again, things do happen. We agree with people we don't normally agree with. Polata made the point that it does happen. It does happen. What am I going to say? Polata made the point that the Nigerian government should also protect other refineries that are emerging from Dangote. And so the Nigerian government should also get their own going too. Because Dangote will not be a monopoly then. That is the thing. We need to make the Nigerian currency appreciate.
No, forefathers. So listen to yourself now. Because we are talking today. How many refineries are there today?
One that can supply 2 times the need of Nigeria.
Yes. So if that is really the case, all the government can do is use administrative tools. Okay, I buy your argument. Don't ban it, but say that you can't use my FX. You can't use my FX to buy petroleum.
That's
for instance.
Fair point.
Okay?
Yeah, go and
what
get
I'm
yours.
saying is that there are some, and the truth, even in this era now, if you go and ban outrightly petroleum importation, this is what will cause more problem for the country, because the Americans or whatever it is, the West now would well, I'm just saying that you have to understand how to deal with these things. The idea is not to ban it, is to
okay, I agree with you there. Just say go and get your own FX. You don't have a company in Bangladesh, use your company to raise foreign currency and use it to buy petrol and bring it to Nigeria. Fine, I don't have any issue with that. But the point is that we need to cut down the demand for the dollar.
Let me ask you a question. For the last 2 years or for the past 4 years, have you seen the petroleum importers being on the bill of the CBN asking for dollars?
Oh yes. If you look at the the exports, that's what they said. Even Nagode said the same thing. Our foreign currency demand, the imports that we bring in, 33% at least is on petroleum products.
Okay. Why can't Dangote work out business with these people?
You should be asking them.
If that refinery is actually the way we expect it to function, why can't we find business with these people? Instead of them.
Let me explain it to you. It's very simple. They could have just bought shares inside Dangote. The Nigerian government even divested from Dangote.
Fathers, it was my turn, and I've rested my point. And I think maybe it's other body or man of prestige.
Can I add? I think everybody just talking.
Yeah. Man of prestige, you can add. I think that. Yeah,
Thank you
welcome.
very
We're
much.
sorry you've been waiting for a
We are
while.
talking about import and export. So there's an advantage for banning of import, and there's disadvantage to that. But in my own opinion, the advantage of banning importation of crude oil outweigh the outweigh disadvantage. What I'm trying to say, in terms of banning importation of oil. Right now, I think from what I understand, Dangote is buying about 50% of his crude oil, mostly from America or so what. So there's a lot of advantage in that regard. I mean, definitely, it's going to protect the domestic refinery, because if we start producing our own refinery, our own crude oil without importing, that's going to make them those refineries that's not been working already, that's going to make them speed it up. In order try to produce in that area. That's an advantage from local material in that regard, and it's going to boost our economy, because right now all we are doing is the raw material. But if we're able to produce the real oil, which is refined, it's going to help our economy in that regard. So I'm saying it's going to boost the economy any way you look at it. I mean, it's going to be like value-added economy by improving our, petrochemical and industry. If we just keep on, exporting without importing. But the only area I have an issue is that we can't even meet our capacity. I think we have been allocated about 1.6 or 1.8 million per day, or we are not meeting that. So that's where the problem is. That's where the challenge is. Are we going to be able to meet just the allocated 1.6 or 1.8? We're not even meeting that challenge. So that's where the problem is. And I don't see this government, because of the cabal or whatever, stopping the importation of crude oil, because people there already there before Tinubu came in, and Tinubu is not going to try to offend them. All of them are in the same. I don't see that happening. But I completely agree. What was you going to say?
Yeah, I think you are right. It appears our governments, they are very, very skittish about trying to do anything that will upset people outside. This is why some of the moves that they make. Pardon?
I think definitely that's going to boost.
It's not for a good reason. It's because they are scared of doing the right thing.
People, try to boost the domestic refinery, because now we are depending, a lot of import. But if they stop that, it's going to boost our domestic refinery. That's what I just said.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to boost the local manufacturing. That's the whole point. We want to start making stuff, because if we have excess production, guess what's going to happen? We start exporting petroleum. Is that not what we have been looking for? We want to start earning value-added manufacturing.
Okay, look at before Dangote coming, right? All we are just raw material exporter. That's what we are.
Exactly.
Dangote come in, that induce some kind of value-added economy to it, whereby we become a petrochemical, exporter.
That guy was so annoying. He's like, this kind of people, they are the kind of people that
I don't agree with that guy. I mean, regardless of the free market economy,
the issue that have the issue.
I don't know what Buddy said. Buddy, what do you say about that?
Is the issue of banning. You don't ban. You incentivize your industry to be competitive.
Or you make it harder. You put massive tariff on them.
You make it. Like. You don't.
Trump is putting tariff on other people right now. You keep talking about free trade. Where did you have free trade? We keep. Don't you want to stop you keep saying incentivize your national identity, your local one. How are you going to incentivize when the other people are crashing their price?
What are important before we have refinery? What are we been feeding on?
Before
these
we
are
have
the importers that be supplying us. And over time, we realize that these people have invested their money. They've built tank farms all around. That's why when you go to Apapa, you see tank farm all around.
So nobody asked them to do that. Nobody asked them to do that.
It's their business.
Nobody asked them to do
you don't kill those ones as well, because you don't ask them. Who has Dangote as well? Who has
They should
Dangote
have
as
been
well?
planning. They should have been planning ahead when Dangote was coming on stream.
Yes.
They should have been aligning with Dangote or building their own. They are not stupid. Businessmen are supposed to think ahead. When you see some other person, when you see the market changing, you change.
In the first instance, they had no business for a crude oil producing country
They have business.
in a
That's what they
sane
call
environment.
midstream. Those are the midstream.
Wait, now, body, for a crude oil producing country, where on earth will you give somebody license to go and do a tank farm? Where? For what? It's absurd that we have all these tank farms in the first instance.
Oh, you see the issue now. No, because we have to see. You have to recognize all these practices that got us into the mess we are in.
The question to national problem, you don't answer it once. You know what give rise to tank firm today, as we have today. Back in the days, we have depot. Depots are no more today. That's the failure of governance. You realize that. So Dangote can still work with these people. He can work business out with these people. We don't necessarily have to shut them out. That's what I'm saying. Because
I'm not. The truth is that I support that statement. I'm not here to try to impoverish people. That is not the point. But they should have moved. They should have done all these things before now. In other words, they want to remain where they are. That is the problem I'm having.
Yeah.
That is the issue. Because they are wise enough, they have more money, they have more resources. They should have moved by now.
But because they don't want to move, we can't like outrightly.
If they don't want to move, you move them.
So it's like
if they don't want to move, they become obstruction to the progress of an entire nation.
No.
They had the chance to move.
One more thing, forefather. What happened to the operational problem we have with Naira? To pay crude oil in Naira. What happened to that?
I think that has been restored anymore. I think that has been restored.
That's the ongoing. That's the ongoing.
I think they are giving crude oil to Dangote with Naira
that's
now.
the ongoing. Yeah.
But I gather that Dangote is still importing though. It's still importing from
that's what I said.
We are missing up stuff.
Undermined it. Is it not the inconsistency in oil that we
have? No, that's not inconsistent. We are missing stuff. The amount of crude required by Dangote to refine, Nigeria cannot supply it. So he has to import from US and from other parts of the world.
Does he have enough? Does Nigeria supply him enough for him to refine to supply back to Nigeria? Enough petroleum?
No, we won't get that enough. You know the reason why we won't get back, we won't get that enough is because we already have commitment. There are loads that are backed by crude during Buhari, so they have to supply.
Sorry. The reason why I said that because let me finish. The reason why I said that because it is said that Dangote refinery can supply twice the capacity that Nigeria consumes.
Of course.
So if that is the case, Dangote also said that he imports 53% of crude oil from overseas.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is the case, 47% may be coming from Nigeria. So if that is that not enough to almost satiate the Nigerian market in terms of if he gets 47% of the supply of crude from Nigeria?
Hypothetically,
they don't get to that where the prestige point comes value, because if we have a limit of what we should produce and put out as the quotas prescribed by OPEC, nothing stops us from ramping up production to increase local supply to Dangote. But we have the reserve. That's what we're talking about. For me, and that's my point. It's not that I have a big problem with banning, but I'm saying that that is not where your mind should go to. Your mind should focus on first, support Dangote as a refinery to be at its best. The next step after that is to start encouraging other local refineries so that you can balance things up. Then only after then that you can now raise your head and start looking outside, because everything should be all our problems today as it is, all our problems, including political problems, are local. We haven't dealt with all our local problems.
My own point, I'm sorry, Maska, go ahead and finish.
No, I'm done. It's not
okay. My own point about what we are talking about, I don't think we are ready to ban it right now. I mean, like I professed earlier, banning it, is more advantage, but we're not ready. We're not at that space yet. Why am I saying that? Because if you look at what I think it was Iceman and Petro, they have warned about the banning of the importation of crude oil because of the refinery we have in Nigeria. The other 3 or 4 refineries, they are not ready. Only Dangote refinery is ready right now, and if we do that, that might lead to scarcity of scarcity of crude oil, scarcity of petroleum, and that will spike up price. That's the disadvantage we are talking about right now. in a same scenario.
But why do you think it's going to lead to scarcity when Dangote can produce twice what we need?
Dangote refinery is not going to be enough.
But they can produce twice what we need. That 2 times what Nigeria needs.
For further, the way refinery work is this: they say refinery is this so amount of, so amount capacity. They don't fill up the capacity that they go. They start with like the half of their capacity.
Yeah, but I gather that is,
and they start ramping up. They start ramping up over time.
Yes.
So that's why at the start of the operation of Dangote refinery, that's why you couldn't hear them supplying gasoline. That means supplying petrol to the market.
Yeah.
They always start with diesel. They started with fertilizer. So now they've started refining petrol. So they are ramping up gradually. Now I think probably they should be around like they are 75% of their capacity. I don't think they're 100% yet.
I thought they were 100% already.
That means what you said, you don't have the capacity.
So at that point, where they're even asking for the markets, they don't have the capacity to supply Nigerian markets there.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons the MPDR still assessing people to import petrol. So it's gradually we can face those people Masca was talking about. We can gradually phase them out. Not by outright ban. But by the time the market is we have enough volume, it's saturated, the market is saturated, they will definitely go out of markets or they find another business to do.
So about the 600 per day that Dangote is producing. Is it selling to other African countries?
Actually, I've confirmed it that Dangote is operating at full capacity now.
Oh, that's good.
So that is this in. Let me see if I share just so that the viewers can see it, so it doesn't look like I'm making it up.
Or what? I thought it was just around 650.
Let me see. Yeah, let me see if I can share that. So that's the headline here. This was in February. Nigeria Dangote refinery to operate at full capacity in 30 days. That was in February. So Nigeria's biggest refinery could hit.
Okay, so you see that number. Okay, so I was right.
Speculative.
No, but that's 30 days now. We are talking about 6 months after that. So not likely to be the listed update. Look at that. No, look at that now. Look at that. Upgrade to 700 now. It's even crossed the capacity that they were describing before.
Another point I want to touch on that, or Masca talked about, is about the ramping up our production. You know, I said earlier that, or they view some of our crude for free forwarding. If government could ramp up, because as I think we are doing around 1.6 to 1.8 thereabout. If they could ramp up and produce more, that would be very good for our economy. Even good for Dangote and other local refiners as well.
But though, as you speak, Dangote is one of the largest value-added manufacturing company in Nigeria right now. That he produces cement, he produces other stuff. I think sugar, fertilizer, now petroleum at such a high scale. Now we're talking about 700,000 barrels per day or so. That is massive. So it means Nigeria needs about 350. He's selling 350 overseas.
Yes.
Value-added manufacturing. That is some significant work that guy is doing. One man.
He's producing fertilizer, he's producing other polymers as well, which are very good.
That is crazy. That's some crazy stuff. And this is why I think the Nigerian government should tap into that.
How many modular refinery do we have?
I think like the Lancers up to like 12, but presently only like 3 are operating. Even those 3 that are operating, they are not producing petrol. So
and that's the thing. Why are they not producing petrol? Because I gather that the unit that is required to crack petroleum it costs a certain amount of money, but it's not impossible to buy. Why are they not just doing it?
You know, the issues like you look at your markets. You know, because all these agreements with producing, selling, it's a strategic contract. You have to have the offloaders. Who's going to take it from you? So
Nigerians now, we are looking for petrol now.
As a businessman,
all this thing you are saying, Dangote, is it not one head the guy has? Where is the complication are they living in different countries?
Only one man is doing all this. Come on, man.
Dangote is super rich. You can't compare modular refinery with Dangote refineries.
No.
So, to me, I would have expected those modular refineries to start producing gasoline. What do you call it? Kerosene. They can tap into another market.
I think they are producing kerosene.
They can produce this locally. Like meeting the demand of like 1-2 states instead of like looking at larger markets.
Are they selling it overseas, or is that what they are doing? Because maybe some of these companies are manufacturing in Nigeria and exporting them overseas.
And jet fuel as well. Some of them are producing jet fuel, so they are doing that. So they are only looking at, so that's the stuff they are doing. So I don't think they can venture into producing gasoline, producing petrol, because that would be. They can do if they're inside of Niger Delta, if they're in the east. So they can be that, they can even be Dangote to it because they are local. The cost of producing, the cost of transportation will reduce.
Why you see, why does the government now, since the government is being established now that they don't seem to be capable of running a refinery properly, just sell it to private holders.
That's
at least we know it's going to be
in a
working.
free market economy. That's not a government place to operate. I mean,
exactly. So why don't you just give it to another private guy in Nigeria and say, okay, you run it. You know, produce. We already have the equipment there. Get it going.
My suggestion is nobody should buy that place. You should just give people license to go and do a brand new refinery.
I think they are building new refineries already.
You know, that of Port Harcourt, I was expecting they should give it, if they can give it to Indorama.
What? Because what? But the water refinery, there's nothing going on in Port Harcourt.
You know.
No. The point is that I think what I'm saying is that
you know the section of that, you know, the petrochemicals part of Port Harcourt has been sold to Indorama a long time ago.
I
don't know where the
refinery business is a cut and paste topic.
Pardon?
I said this refinery talk, I think we should discuss other things. This one is cut and paste. It's a yes or no.
Yeah, it's a yes or no. It's a yes or no. That guy was a little bit annoying because he was just making it look like, oh, competition is everything. No, competition is not everything, by the way. The national interest is actually everything. You have to put the national interest first. If you want to reduce the demand for dollar, if anything can do that without any major blowback, go for that direction. Don't think twice about it. That's what nations do. Here in the UK, they don't play around. Like when their steel plant wanted to go down, they rallied. They went and saved it. Was it not Obama that saved this thing? What do you call it? Tesla and all. Yeah. So let's not play around, man. You have to put your national interest first and forget about what other people and their so-called principles think.
You know, Detroit.
Auto industry. Yeah.
Auto industry.
Dangote, is Elon Musk not a monopoly in Starlink? Is there any other competition in space with him? He's doing monopoly all over the place. That guy can literally turn your internet off. He turned the internet off for Ukraine when they wanted to use their weapons to attack Russia. Because he didn't approve it, he turned it off. But, that is monopoly for you.
This is strictly my opinion. The bottom line is that we are not yet ready. Nigeria shouldn't refrain from banning crude oil importation completely until local refinery and and Dangote, and the modular refinery.
We have local refinery already. Dangote can produce it. Let's stop it.
And to be reliable in terms of supply. That's just my opinion for now.
Dangote is supplying, and we have suppliers in Nigeria already. Let's get. Personally, I just think do away with foreign, because I just want our naira to come back to where it was.
But you can't do that right now. We are not ready. I just told you.
What do you mean we are not ready? What do you want us to be ready? Have 20 refineries?
Dangote refinery is not just enough.
It's enough. You can supply what we need.
There's another one coming up in Akwa Ibom.
Why do you keep saying it's not enough?
This is a free market. Dangote is going to sell in about 50% of it. It's not just going to be selling from Nigeria.
It's not only Dangote that is inside Nigeria.
Hold on. Dangote is there to make profit. If he's going to be supplying just to Nigeria, he's going to be losing. Okay?
No, it's not going to be losing.
What are you talking about? How much are you paying?
Because cost is cheaper for him when he's in Nigeria. Cost is cheaper for him. So he's going to make most of his more money in Nigeria.
Dangote is not just for Nigeria, okay?
He's making double. He's making double what we need. So he's always going to sell overseas.
You give him the money to build the refinery. Is that your money?
You have to realize this guy's payback is low in dollar. So
I don't understand how this is controversial. This is your
point is right.
Do you want his money? I don't care about it. All I care about is that dollar reducing. That's all I care about. I don't care about I don't care.
Dangote is patriotic. He's doing well. The way he's doing right now. Trying to
it's not what matter of what you care about. It's a matter of
see, okay, let me put it this way. What I care about is prices coming down in Nigeria. And prices are not going to come down in Nigeria if we keep spending our foreign exchange importing products from overseas.
You know what happened 3 days ago? Those importers, they lowered their price way below that of Dangote.
Exactly, because those foreign companies they want to put pressure on Dangote to fail. So they will crash their price like they do in airlines too. It's the same game that they all play. Why do you think Buhari blocked this in the borders? Because they were flooding Nigeria with rice. That's how they destroy your local manufacturing.
Okay, I have another question, Buddy. You're probably more informed than I do when it comes to Nigeria. What happened to our gas deposit? What are we doing with that? I mean, we have the highest in Africa.
We are using it now.
They are making a lot of investment in that. I think the energy is building another train. There's another investment by Total. So there's a lot of investment going down. We are even more of gas nation than even the oil. So if we make
my hometown, we produce about 90% the proving one. So I'm gonna go back, go build refinery there.
That's what I was saying. That like we can in Nigeria we can find gas almost everywhere.
Yeah.
So even we have enough gas that can even like take care of the whole of Europe. We can compete with Russia confidently. But over time, there's no investment in it. They have to make a lot of investment right now.
Let me tell you this story. I just came back from vacation. I went to Caribbean country. So I met an Egyptian guy. I met an Egyptian guy there. So me and him was talking about. So he said, "What country?" I said, "From Nigeria." He said, "Man, y'all are rich. Y'all have a lot of natural resources. What are y'all doing?" I said, "Yeah, we are rich." Then he said, he knows a lot about Nigeria. So he said, "But the problem you have is your government." And he said, the people in Nigeria are very docile, He said, "We let people rule us." He said, "The people supposed to be ruling them." You see, that happened in Egypt. I mean, I don't, so people will take go fight the government and remove the government. I guess maybe you're talking about the Arab Spring or whatever. But you think that the Arab, particularly the Egyptian, where he's from, they are more bold. I mean, they're going to go protest, say, how many people can you kill? But then he asked me, am I ready to die for the country? I said, no, no, I'm not ready to go protest the king there. But this is just the mindset he was telling me. We were having an Egyptian, he was over there on vacation too. So it was very interesting hearing from him, thinking that saying that we're a very rich country. He said, we are the richest country in Africa. That's
they know that now. They know that we are the richest.
We actually have the potential. We actually have the potential. But the main issue that we have is that our capacity is an issue, and then we even have an external saboteurs.
I think that external saboteurs are there.
And then our capacity calls to question as well. I want to choose a few things. Over time, we have Nigerian oil wells, oil blocks. What do they do with it? They take it once they acquire those oil wells. We don't have the local capacity to do it ourselves. We contract it out. We sell it.
Imagine that.
That's what we do.
Just use it to make money.
Not until now that we now have a local company like Seplat or Hando coming together, taking those marginal field. Though it's capital intensive.
Yeah, Nigerian companies are beginning to pop up now in different places.
The multinationals they've abandoned the marginal feed. You know why? Because of the issue with those communities.
Yes.
They've run crisis, and they are now moving to onshore. They are moving to offshore, IC.
Yeah.
And the investment in the IC is capital intensive.
Yeah, very intensive. Yeah.
So there's no bank in Nigeria that can rally that kind of amount of money. So you have to go.
And that offshore one is far more profitable for them because you can't challenge them because you don't have any other person that can do it.
No crisis. You don't have issue with Osmo's community. You can get there. It's capital intensive. So the locals, it's good now that we have our local, the Seplat going to the marginal feed, taking off those marginal feed they've abandoned over time. That's why the production is ramping up to 1.8, 1.9. Yeah. Probably by next year, if they are encouraged, we can get to 2.5. So we get to by 2.5. I think we've been
at 2.5. A lot of problems will be solved in Nigeria. I can assure you.
Yeah, sure.
But one thing I fear for Nigeria is that our leaders always find a way to sabotage it. That's the scary part.
So the issue is that they don't know more than they knew. It's not their problem at times. It's because they don't know what they knew. So that's the issue.
You mean our leaders don't know?
Yeah. You know,
scary. They don't know what they are supposed to be doing. They should know. They hang around all these well-educated people. Many of them are well-educated too.
Let's examine our state governors. Let's look at their capacity. Examine them, look at them critically.
But it's not fair to look at the state governor's capacity. You should look at the people that work for them.
Look at people that work with them.
Yeah, but the people that work with them are supposed to be well-educated. We have so many PhDs in Nigeria.
And they're not. PhD in what?
PhD in so many different things.
Forefathers. Last week, I was watching the convocation of a particular university in Nigeria. As they are calling them their thesis topic. As they call them to stand up. If you look at those thesis topic, they are so what?
It's not about degree.
Okay, now let me put this. In defense of Nigerian education, my own experience that I've seen, that's not me schooling, but I saw somebody that is schooling in Nigeria. The person was doing masters. I was surprised how seriously those guys are. They stretch them like crazy. They did masters and they make them masters, so not PhD. They made them go and read research papers and they have to publish. They have to publish in all these research bodies, organizations. At the same time, one of them, they even took them to Dubai to go and present. It's like Nigerians, this is just masters, it's overkill. But they do. Nigerians are not. This thing that we say that the education system is totally trash. I'm not sure that is.
I'm not saying the education is trash. What are we stressing on in our education system? Are there something new? Are there something archaic? Are we stressing the whole thing? What problem are we solving? Those are the questions. Because I told you that
I feel like they know. You see, my thing is that I feel like they know.
I believe that they know.
Let me just add this. Let me add this. I met a Nigerian the other day in the UK, and he was like, "Oh, because Nigerian government sent him here to come and study," and he was like, "Oh, I was thinking I wanted to go and study that PhD." I was like, "Oh, where is that?" In Oxford. It was like in Oxford University. I was like, "Jesus Christ, you can just go any university you like." And the top university in the world, they have, because it's through the Nigerian government, they have access to some of all these things. Oh, yeah. Nigerians know, and I can tell you that in Nigerian, in the Air Force alone, or the Nigerian space, they have people that hold PhDs and aerospace degrees, more than 50, 80 of them in Nigeria. They are there. So it's not like Nigerians are not educated. They are educated. The problem is, why is it that is not translating into the way they are organizing their country? That's why
we're not. That's why I say
you keep saying they don't know. I think they know.
We have a PhD, colorful. We have generals that have never been tested at the war front. We have a PhD without the impact. The impact is not there. We are not making that dent. That's why I say, what national question are we attending to? Because you say you are writing the papers. That means you are answering a question. That's why I say, what question are you answering?
They were solving a question. The one I know about, they were solving something that is related to Nigeria.
So that's why I say, over time, forward, I don't know if you're familiar with what they call PTDF, Petroleum Trust Fund. Petroleum Trust Fund, Petroleum PTDF, Petroleum Development Trust Fund, something like that. Over years, they've been sending Nigerian graduates, lecturers, to others to go and study course related to petroleum industry.
Yeah. Okay.
For more than 30 years. What has been the result? Wow. Look at our whole sector. Are we making that dent? Or we are just, writing papers is a simple thing. You can contribute to junk, to the body of knowledge. That's what's all about. You can contribute to the body of knowledge. How do you translate? That's what I call translational. How do you translate those breakthroughs? If you look, there's an agency they call NASENI in Abuja. Nigeria National Infrastructure Engineering, stuff like that. If you look at what they are doing there, they are trying to translate research work to tangibles. Those are the questions. Those are the things that we should be solving. That relates directly to us.
I agree with you. I have to say it took a while, but this government seems to be, at least in words, they are saying Nigeria first. And they are pushing the fact that they are even talking about this banning of petroleum import is a sign that maybe they are beginning to take it seriously. Because I believe if they did, oh my God, if Nigerians knew what that policy could do for Nigeria, if Nigerians start buying stuff and making stuff, we will be selling it all over Africa.
Oh yeah.
The kind of money Nigerians will make from that. capital will be flying into, and the moment you start selling it over Africa, the product will get better, and you start selling it all over the world.
You know, there's this center in Lagos. They call it the National Medical Laboratory, Nigerian National Center for Medicine, somewhere in Lagos. That center has been there for donkey years. You know what they should be doing? And that's why that the center is there for all this year. We couldn't produce vaccine. And those are the questions you should be solving medically.
They couldn't produce vaccine.
We couldn't produce vaccine in Nigeria.
What is wrong with them? What is stopping them?
Now they are now like trying to like partner with I think Big Foundation to see if they could produce some vaccine locally.
Okay, first of all, why couldn't they produce by themselves? What is the technical challenge there they have? Sorry about your this thing. It looks like you are in some kind of oven.
Get out of this.
Yeah, it's a kind of oven. You are cooking yourself. We are supposed to be the one cooking you in this panel, not you cooking yourself over there. Eh? We are supposed to be cooking you here. Eh? You are cooking yourself over there by yourself.
So you know, as in, if you have a leader that is not intentional, we believe in sharing the money.
Father, you said something about PhD or whatever. I mean, PhD is nothing but, you know, I mean, they are just there for a research or whatever. I mean, we don't have I think some of our institutions, you know, they don't have a lot of whereby, you know, they can do a very proper research for any kind of innovation. We don't have that. This is the problem we have in our education in Nigeria.
But Nigeria spends over $1 billion on research and development. Nigeria spends over $1 billion on research and development every year. That's what I gathered the Nigerian government.
So how many institutions in Nigeria do you know that do research?
Is that a budget or the money that was released? Because
I gather it's a budget, I think. It may be the other way around.
You know, we actually have research institutes all around. We have universities. We have polytechnic that can do all those stuffs. Even our universities, they can't even boast of 12 hours electricity supply. And for you to do a research, light must be in place. Because there's some research that you have to run like continuously. And there's no light.
Except you deliberately design your research to be not needing light. You can make it so that you are studying the light. But I get what you mean. But I still think we have enough light to be able to do more research than we are doing. Nigeria is a country made up of 200 million people. There are countries smaller than like the 5 million that do more outcome in terms of research better than Nigeria. Are you telling me that Nigeria don't have enough light for 5 million people?
That's the impact and effectiveness. You know, like I usually say, you get to some country, they have a smaller airport of like capacity of 5,000 people at a go. If you see their efficiency, the way they function, use your operational research to function. Compared to a country that have a gigantic airport that don't even know how to manage it. So efficiency and impact come to play in Nigerian system. The issue is that like we have these institutions, but what are the impact? What's the efficiency?
You see what you described there. Hey, man of President, thank you for joining us. We are going to America right now. You might be interested. You know, you'll be very.
I gotta leave, man. That would have been a very interesting topic for me, but I gotta leave.
Yeah,
okay?
No problem.
All right, thank you, man.
All right, then. See you. Thank you for joining us. So, what you said just now reminds me, it paints a picture of if the federal government decides to cordon off a specific aspect of the state of Nigeria or different states in Nigeria, let's say the 6 geopolitical region, it creates some well-funded
flagship universities, flagship institutions,
either universities or research institutions to carry out big, serious research, deep ones, not just all these ones that are just flailing about. You fund them heavily. You know, if you were funding the others, maybe 200 million or 1 billion or 2 billion. These ones, you fund them with 500 billion or 1 trillion each on one of them. You'll find that those institutions will go on to do great things. They will be almost isolated from the palavers of Nigeria, get their own part, just like Dangote did. Create your own ecosystem. Dangote created his own power generating station, created his own harbor and everything. You do that, isolate them from Nigeria, the Nigerian problem. Then you have these 6 regions or 6 institutes start producing innovation within the country. I think maybe that might do some good. But that is just a thought. So because that point you made about the Nigeria being big, not being able to organize itself, it's true. So if you want to solve the problem, you have to isolate some small pockets that can function like other countries that are smaller and able to deliver good results. Look at Israel. Israel is a small country.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think they dominate the world in technology? If Nigeria puts the resources in, filter out of 200 million, filter out their best and put them in those places, in 10 years' time, you'll be seeing results you will not believe. But
it's because over time we've kind of used to what we call, how would I say it, market economy, like trade and services.
Exactly.
You know,
you are right there. No, finish your point so that I can go to this American. I want to talk about this Trump business with the man. We say Nigerian politicians are bad. These American ones, they are on a different level. So finish your point, please.
You know, we kind of have this market economy, trade and services over time. You know, we've never really being intentional about science and technology to drive our economy. You know, that's been an issue. You know, and what I would have expected that like we should be having those startup industry within the university community or research institutes, whereby they can easily tap into whatever coming out of the research they are doing at the university.
Yeah, that's very, very good. And do you think university environment are the best for this? Because they tend to be they have university politics going on there.
You know, the same thing here. What I understand here is that like there are universities here whereby there's this university that I'm very familiar with, North Carolina State University. If you go to their Millennium Park, whereby they have their faculty of engineering, if you see the number of industry that are there. So that means immediately you finish your degree, there's a place for you to have your internship within that university. There are a lot of industries here. They have that park. The university can do the same thing. Most universities in Nigeria, they have a lot of land, more than what they require, more than what they needed. They can do the same thing and invite these industry, all these entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Bring them in, give them free land, free lease for land. That will help us to bridge that gap between the industry and the academic community. So we can easily translate the result of research into tangibles.
Yeah. The picture I have in mind, I don't know, obviously it's a little bit naive. Like I said, when you have these special institutions that you create, their job is not necessarily to do academia. What they do is they filter out the best from the various institutions and send them over there. Or they can be having a kind of exchange whereby somebody can come from the higher institutions that are well gifted and go in there, do the work that they need to do there, then they can come out again. The point is that these institutions, their job is just to innovate. They are not there to teach, educate people. They are there to innovate. They bring the best in, and they innovate in different areas. You have them. You have people that specialize in this in human science. The other people, this in physics or astrophysics, theoretical. You just do those things in such a way that it's all about innovation. Because for me, technology is something that we have to leapfrog in. We can't catch up with the world if we do it the pace as which they are doing it. We have to do it on a big scale. But sorry, go ahead.
And you know one good thing about science, technology breakthrough these days, it's like it's even cheaper now. We can easily adapt. We don't have to start all over and start to go dig again. We can easily see papers. There are a lot of stuff have been done. We can just take a look at it and take it and reproduce.
It's true.
And reproduce.
You can start from there. That's what the Asians do now. They copy, they just reproduce. Then from there they start innovating. You know, it's not so hard.
So it's not it's everything has been democratized. It's open. It's open. Let's just take that and solve our problems, solve agricultural problems, solve other problems.
But this okay, you know this. But why is it that our leaders are so slow? Do you know that I made a contact in China where they were willing to sell their technology over. That's the amount they were asking for was significant, but they were willing to sell their technology over in the sense that when they sell it, you can start manufacturing that stuff now. When you manufacture this stuff, you can manufacture it in Nigeria, you can even keep manufacturing it in China. So you can be making profit in China and then transfer the technology over to Nigeria and manufacture again. It's like, but you don't see Nigerians doing this where they buy technology. We don't buy technology. I don't know why.
You know, back in the days, North America is the hub of industrialization, manufacturing. You know what happened? They shifted focus to China. You know what they did? What they went to China with? They went with China with a patent, with their breakthrough. They have the patent that they just go there, do this for me. And once it's under patent, China cannot like produce the same thing. You have to design for you to produce. So that's what American economy is leveraging on. So in our own case as well, we can do even those local problems that we thought we've solved, those research that people are talking about. Let's turn it to something. We've been having malaria over time. Malaria has been with us forever. And there's never been any solution on a large scale that can solve malaria problem. And what are we doing as human beings, as a nation, if you can't solve that simple problem? It's simple, but
this is what gives me trust issues amongst our leaders. I feel like this cannot be by coincidence. And remember, this is not only Nigeria. We're talking about almost 50 Black African countries unanimously doing the same thing. Not even one straying by accident in the right direction. That is scary. And then you look at it again from a different point of view and say, okay, when I talked about traveling, like if you want to travel from the UK now to Morocco is 3.5 hours to get to Morocco, while to get to Nigeria is 6 hours. To get to Morocco, you can spend £110 to get to Morocco. But to come to Nigeria now, you will spend almost £1,000, the cheap tickets. If you want to get a standard ticket that they will fly you 6 hours to Nigeria, you will be looking to paying £1,500. These things, it's our leaders that are causing it.
Not sure.
They can solve it, but they are not solving it. Do you know what they are doing? They are making it hard for Africans to come back to their countries. And the worst thing about it is that it's uniform almost in all Black nations. 50 of them. They make it, because you know why it's problematic? Because let's say if Ghana decides to do what Morocco does and make it easier for people to come to Ghana, all Nigerians will be flying to Ghana and using Ghana to come to Nigeria. You see that? So that shows you that all of them, the Black nations, uniformly blocked people from coming back to their country. They make it very expensive for people to come to their countries.
Even though we move within Africa, it's expensive.
They make it very difficult.
They make it difficult.
So it tells you that something is seriously wrong with our leadership. Even if the control or the pressure is coming from outside, the fact that they themselves are quiet about it, they are not telling you that this is going on. It really disturbs me to no end.
You know, the issues that somebody mentioned, Aladdin, something like, the reason for that is like, which I can say is like, Cuba.
Yeah.
Cuba decided that they want to be self-reliant. Their leader decided to rally their citizens together. They're like, no, this is a turning point. We don't have leaders like that in Africa as of today. The kind of leader that we have in Africa, especially Nigeria today, are like leaders that only care about themselves, what they will take away. Leaders that want to check the bucket list. That, I want to be president. What they want to do, they don't know. They don't have the intellectual capacity, the rigor to even be a class captain. We know them. We know in our own heart of hearts that the set of candidates, the set of people that we have parading themselves as a leader in that country, they don't want Bain. They lack the capacity. And I was discussing with a friend of recent that, okay, let's even look at our private sector. People that have been successful in our private sector. Can they come to governance and make a dent? And we start picking them one by one. And by the time we start digging onto them, we saw that even their own success is even episodic. They are not even real people at all. Compared to leaders that have emerged in other nations that have turned things around. So we have a long way to go. And the process, despite that we have a long way to go, other problems are catching up with us. That's why it's becoming so complicated.
But it is not a little bit scary though. Why is it that Black African countries almost uniformly behave the same way? that for me, that gives me trust issues, because if everywhere you look, if you look at their security, it's the same behavior. If you look at their travel, this is tourism stuff. It's still the same behavior. If you know, if you want to go from London to Morocco, it costs about $110 or $100, sometimes even less, $50, $80. But from Morocco to Nigeria, suddenly the price hundreds of this in pounds through the roof. It's like we are an untouchable area. Don't go there. Let nobody go near Africans. These people, they shall not be touched for some reason.
I think
don't know why.
That's deliberate, you know, and you know, like I said earlier, it's a problem. The internal influence is part of it as well. They made us to see ourselves in a particular way. The trust issue, not to trust one another. That's why development within Africa is very difficult. These people that we are competing with, you know, we don't see like competition. These people are they are quite aware that like, hey, these people must not rise. It's deliberate. It's intentional.
No, but are you sure? Because I'm getting a bit skeptical about this in recent times. Are you sure it's not our people that are doing these things?
Let me tell you one thing. There are certain level that we can develop into that will not be a problem to the West. Once you know, over time we've discussed the issue of Iran, we've flogged the issue of Iran. You know, what do you think is going on with Iran and the US? If you see the way America talk about China, as if China is like a cancer that you cannot touch. If you see the way they talk about Russia, I'm about to scare that like Russia is a no-go area. And I've seen a lot of friends that are in Russia that are doing well. The way the media, you know, if you listen to the news today, if you see the way they would describe Nigeria, like there's a war going on in Nigeria. I was shocked when I see the number of students from my hometown that graduated from the University of Maiduguri. I was like, wow, how did you guys get there? I did not say there is Boko Haram in Maiduguri. There's a kind of news that they turn out, and they call it travel advisories.
Yeah.
And if you want to go to any nation, that's what you look into. Is it safe for you? Though,
yeah, but
on our side as well, we are not doing well.
Is it not because the safety is not necessarily where the real damage is done? Because like now, if I was in the UK, I wanted to travel to Nigeria, you know how frustrating it is to watch other people take $50. I've seen somebody take £5 to go to another country in Europe. But to go to Nigeria, especially during this time of the year where it's summer in Europe, you will spend over 8,000 if you want to fly 6 hours in either direction. You spend 1,500 or above for British Airways. If you are lucky, you get cheap ticket now and again when you are going to the searching website, travel websites. But that is how expensive it is. While other countries are they collapsing. And when I did the numbers, if Nigerian government just support the airlines and say, okay, tickets, people coming to Nigeria have tickets, Nigerian government will spend some money. But the truth is that when those people come to Nigeria, they will spend even more money when they are in Nigeria.
We've argued this before.
Is it an argument, or do you agree?
Yeah, we've argued it before. How do you think, and I'm going to ask you the same question I asked you before. How do you think, because Buddy is still he's saying certain things and you're still not picking up on it. How do you think airfares are determined?
Airfares are determined based on the tax rates, the subsidies.
Tax rates of what?
The tax that they tax the airlines now in the different countries. You know, the fuel tax and demurrage tax, or whatever else they call the charging for.
No. They're determined by, first of all, supply and demand. First of all. Second, the international bodies, like Buddy is saying, that they don't want Africans to rise. They have bilateral agreements. They have air agreements. They have air treaties. They have multilateral air treaties. Open sky agreements. I told you the last time, go read about the open sky agreement for one. These things are what determines why you want to travel, like you're complaining about, from Morocco to Nigeria which makes it as expensive as traveling from Nigeria to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So until we have that political clout, which we don't have in Black Africa, we don't have this political power. We don't have the leverage. So your government can subsidize all they want. It's still going to be a failing endeavor. There's nothing that's going to change until the things that rule that industry change on paper. So Africa has its back against the wall because these powers that be do not want it to rise. So until you change
let me come at that from a different perspective, because you use the term blue skies and open skies or something.
No, I didn't say blue sky.
Okay, open skies. Open skies. That was my error. So open skies. That open sky basically means you are free to come into our space. You're free to a kind of free trade of airlines or something like that, which is removing all the taxes and all the rest.
Based on terms.
Yes, based on terms. So that is not based on what they call it. In other words, the terms are based on the taxes that they're charging each other, isn't it?
You're not, listen, stop going back to the taxes. You're not going to win this one.
Yeah, it comes to money.
So it's based on terms favorable to the industries domiciled in their own jurisdiction. Meaning, if it's Lufthansa.
But based on money, now is it not money in the end?
Based on power.
Oh my God! What is the power translating to? Is it not money?
Based on power, you're not going to win this.
Power is not going to fly the plane.
No. You know what it says?
Not
like,
still money.
It's multidimensional. Like
but you're missing the point that in the end it is money.
It's all money. You know, you see the kind of relationship between Canada and US. You know, they have that kind of agreement. There's this give and take. What America is getting from Canada is more than money. America cannot stand up today and say he's going to war. Without hesitation, Canada will go with them.
Right.
They may, not all the time.
All the time.
99.9% they will.
I'm not sure all the time, actually.
It's Mexico that is a big exit.
Canada didn't go to war in Iraq. I don't think they did. So
UK did.
Yeah, they supported them.
Canada didn't. I don't think Canada did.
Canada did. Listen, they have, without cutting into what Buddy's saying, sorry for interrupting.
No issue. That's okay.
I had to because of him. Canada, NATO, Western countries will always support each other economically, security-wise, and on things like, well, security also entails immigration and financial issues. All of it is.
Canada did not support the war in Iraq. Move on.
So this guy's crazy. So Canada will always
factual.
Canada, all right, Chat GPT man. Canada will always go with the United States in whatever endeavor it decides to embark on.
They did not support the war in Iraq. You are changing the discussion here. Everything you've said about the open skies, you are saying it has to do with power. Morocco is not open sky. So many countries that are cheap to travel to is not open sky.
Did I mention this is your problem? You're very tunnel vision and very hard-headed. Did I start off by mentioning demand and supply or not?
See, when you say demand and supply,
hold on.
You mentioned the demand and supply, but I'm telling you that.
Why are you harping on the open skies?
Okay, now let's talk about demand and supply. Now I've dealt with open sky that in the end it has to do with money. Now
you
understand? When it comes to money, in the end, I don't know whether you understand what it means by direct operating cost of airlines. If you understand that, then you understand that they are universal. They are not that different from each other. The reason why those countries are not charging more is because somebody is taking the tabs.
Oh yeah.
Somebody is picking up the tabs. That's what it comes down to in the end. And it depends on whether one African country decides that let me take the bullet and take the tabs. So now, when you talk about now, I will tie that to supply and demand, because when you reduce the fares to travel to anywhere, guess what? The demand increases. So when you say demand, that demand is increased because it's cheap.
If you decide, okay, Why do you think more people want to go to Morocco than come to Nigeria?
Morocco?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's cheaper to go to Morocco.
You think they just want to just get on a plane to Morocco because it's cheaper to buy a ticket?
Yes.
Or because Morocco is a tourism industry, has a vibrant tourism industry.
Now, let me put this the reverse.
No. Let's deal with this step by step. Do you think people just want to hop on a plane to go to Marrakesh and Rabat instead of Lagos and Abuja because of the cheap tickets, or because there is a vibrant tourism
Are
industry?
you open to learning, or you just want to get it right?
It's a very simple question.
Then you will riddle me this: increase the ticket to Morocco and charge them 400, 500 pounds to get there, and you find that demand will decrease.
Why would we? This is you. Oh my! I guarantee if I knock your head, I will hear echo come out of your ears. Listen. Why would I want to increase the ticket to a place where I will benefit economically?
See, now you are not getting my point. That's why I worry that you are not ready to learn. My point is that the reason why our country is not a tourist destination, because the ticket is already too high. Why would anybody want to come
Because
here?
you don't have a tourism.
Oh my God. I'm telling you that if you reverse the case, the tourism market will disappear.
If Nigeria, Jesus Christ, if Nigeria,
You are not understanding. If you reverse the case, the tourism market will disappear.
Hold on. If Nigeria had a tourism industry, if at least built one and developed one, right? And things like security, because all these things will work in tandem. Things like security improved. Don't you think when investors start funding tourism in Nigeria, now this might be private investors, hedge funds in conjunction with the government of Nigeria, don't you think to improve the amount of people that come into that tourist center in Nigeria, don't you think the airfares will automatically become cheaper?
I think it will become cheaper if they add this in tourist this thing, and people start visiting. See, I'm not saying it's absolute. If you have an attractive tourist destination, generally people will flow in, but the effect of that is minimal. I'll give you a straight example. Like in Kenya now, or Tanzania, where they have the Kalahari and all those, Savannah, this is Sahara, this in trips, the ticket is still highly priced. And that has even also limited people visiting those countries, even if those countries were designed to be tourist countries.
Okay,
so it tells you that there's something more going on than just demand and supply.
So based on that, oh my God, forefathers. Based on that, doesn't that bring into the aspect of the bilateral treaties, for example, like the Open Skies Agreement that I brought up after the demand and supply?
The only thing that you are talking about Open Skies Agreement is basically, I don't know, I would need to look into that.
Bilateral treaties. Forefathers, you don't have
to.
I
know about your bilateral treaties. I heard about it.
You don't have to win everything, okay?
I'm not winning. I just want to get to an agreement.
Because quite frankly, usually if something...
I'm seeking agreement. You want to win.
Because quite frankly, some things... You just said, maybe I don't want to learn. Maybe you don't want to learn. If you just mentioned that Kenya, right, has a problem with air pricing, even though they have a tourism industry, doesn't that show you that what Buddy is saying, or I'm saying, is right, that there are some forces that do not want Black Africa to rise in certain aspects by, like I said, imposing on us bilateral agreements that are only favorable to them?
Okay, now let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. This is what you are saying there. Maybe there's some truth there in terms of bilateral agreement, but I keep repeating, I keep coming back to the fundamentals. In the end, it's about money. If the Nigerian government now say everybody coming to Nigeria, your ticket is subsidized by 50%. In the end, it's about money. And the same thing is happening in those countries that have bilateral agreement. Somebody's losing that money. Somebody's paying for all those tickets. The reason why that is happening because they know when those people travel between themselves, they are going to spend a lot of money in both countries. The government is willing to take the tab on that one.
What is the purchasing power for Nigerian, the average Nigerian?
Purchasing power.
Okay, well, let me start it. Let me start it like this.
You know, we don't have a lot of time, so you have to make your point very rapid. We have to close out. But there's another show coming up. I have to respect your time.
What will be the benefits to the Nigerian government of subsidizing airfare for every entrant into the Nigerian territory?
Now, that is the crux of the matter there. If they subsidize the airfare into the country, one, the number of people coming to the country will rise exponentially as they are increasing it. Secondly, the money those people are going to come and spend in Nigeria will increase exponentially. And that too have knock-on effects in terms of job creation, economic, this in foreign currency, this is earnings in the country. So this is why I've done the numbers already. So you can laugh all you want.
So people will come into Nigeria to seek employment. So all the people that
no.
Wait.
The people in Nigeria, see, hold on.
All the people that
see, hold on now. People own hotels.
So all
people,
the people
because you are asking the wrong question.
Okay, so let me ask
people that own the hotels, people that own the places where those people go to, will employ more people.
So all the people, let's pretend you're president of Nigeria. Let's pretend right now. If you subsidize, I mean, it will never happen, thankfully. But let's pretend
like that.
You're president of Nigeria right now.
Mm-hmm.
Within the next fiscal year, well, let's just say within the next 12 months, if you subsidize airfare, let's say from England by 50%, you slashed it. How many people do you envisage would now flood into Nigeria? Like by how many percent do you think entrance into Nigeria?
I may be wrong. If you slash the FF by 50%, I think the increase in this is based on the International Tourism Board calculation. They say the demand will increase, it will double, almost double, if you slash it by 50%.
Who said that?
International Tourism Board, whatever they call themselves.
In Nigeria?
No. International. That's what they are.
They said
not
if you slash it to Nigeria.
Yeah, they know the numbers. They know the numbers because they have patterns of all these things.
I mean,
if you slash airfare,
would you mind showing it to us?
Okay, let me confirm it. You know, this is a factual thing. We like to be factual. You see, this is let me see if I can get ChatGPT to cough up this information.
Which I don't know why people.
It's really not big. You know, we saw that last December where they refer to it as a dirty December, where we saw the greater influx of.
Yeah, but that's seasonal, buddy.
That's a seasonal, yeah. So
which is only like 2 weeks. Really,
we saw the impact on our services. You know, whereby the hotels, shows, movies, theaters, stuff like that. We saw the impact on our transport system. So probably we can't say without certainty.
Buddy. Dirty December is technically only 2 weeks.
Yes.
2 weeks out of 54 weeks. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. We're not talking of an industry like Morocco or Nairobi, Kenya, where it is all year round.
They have a huge tourism industry. They develop here. They have industry, yeah.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. Not he is saying just slash it and people.
I know we have to have something on ground. I get your point. We have to have something on ground.
You have to have something on the ground.
Yeah, definitely. We have to have something on ground. Not just people coming.
No. What I'm saying is about people coming. You know, I'm not even caring about this in tourism yet. I'm saying that because, like, Nigeria has a large diaspora.
Oh yeah.
Many of them want to come back, but because of the prohibitive airfares to come back to their country, they are not able to travel. They reserve their travel to once a year or once in 2 years or even 5 years, depending on how much they can afford. So if you reduce that, if you crash that, those will be coming more often. That's the point. And so I'm trying to get the figures now.
For father, I don't really think that is the issue, because I really observe a pattern of recent. If you look at data, United, they fly to Nigeria almost every day from United States. And almost every day of the week. Go and check it. So despite that, the fear is really on the high side. People are still coming.
Yeah. Okay.
So what I don't know will be, if that price is slashed, what will happen?
No, if the price is slashed, it's very,
because
very
people that still don't have business, that don't have any business like that.
Let me say this. If they are able to come when the price is this high, can you even imagine? I don't understand how. It's obvious to see for me. You can even imagine what will happen if the price was slashed. If they are able to come with this prohibitive pricing, if they slash the price, Nigeria will become a hot destination. As a matter of fact, that is one of the points I wanted to highlight earlier on when I Speak the Truth was talking about this is tourism. I said Nigeria with all their price, you still see people with the 30 December. You saw how people wanted to come.
Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money from this? Where's the money for the subsidy going to come from?
The Nigerian state, we spend money on so many things.
No, what part of the?
Hold on. Do you know? I don't know why you are laughing. We are borrowing $20-something billion. What are we getting back for it? I don't know why you're laughing. If you spend that money now, you're going to get the money now.
Father is looking at the situation of the give and take, like deferred gratification. That over time, this is going to pay up.
Not even over time. If you slash the ticket today, the prices, people are going to come into the country more today. So you are getting the rewards immediately, not over time. It's happening immediatly. That one is not even the
and I think we don't even have to subsidize. We can wrap that up in our Plaza agreement.
Why has not one African country done that? Because it involves these kind of sacrifices.
Let me cite a recent example for you. We have an earpiece going from Nigeria to UK. It was a tug of war for Nigerian government to secure a slot for earpiece at Heathrow. It took the intervention of the Minister of Aviation to take issue up with the UK government. So over time we have these agreements, but do we have people that followed up, that sit to refine details, not just signing the documents? There are a lot of stuff in it. Do we just wish away or give away our right in those agreements that we sign? Do you know? Let me shock you. At a point in time, Morocco was willing to come and join ECOWAS. What do you think their intentions was?
Because they thought the market was going to be big and there was going to be security
I know about that
area.
So that means, as a nation, in whatever we do, we have to be intentional. We have to be mindful of the economy, the benefits, not just signing the document. Now, of today, we can see that Earpiece has been able to secure a slot at Heathrow. All which in that agreement is that, like, Nigerian flag carrier should have an access to one of their first-class airports. Or they have an access to us. They have access to Abuja. They have access to Lagos.
Buddy, I always say something, and I was glad you kept reiterating it, that a lot of the people in charge of Nigeria today do not, first of all, are not qualified to be there. Second, they do not understand why they're there. Thirdly, they don't know what to do. They don't understand what to do. Because first of all, buddy, and I know you know this because listening to you, there's competition. It's all about competition. You kept reiterating this even during the oil discussion you guys kept having. But I think a lot of people
and some of the things you've said is quite inaccurate. When I ask these questions or the question of why the ticket, no, we don't have a lot of time. Sorry,
but
we don't have a lot of time. We have 10 minutes left.
You're fond of interrupting.
No, nobody mentioned the agreement. Yeah, this agreement you are talking about, they didn't say that's the reason why tickets are high. None of them said
they are part of the reason.
No. They said there's no Basel. The Basel agreement is not the reason why. When I checked it on ChatGPT, it had nothing to do with Basel agreement.
Don't indulge him. Buddy, please don't indulge.
So you know more than ChatGPT now. You know more than ChatGPT. You know more than ChatGPT now.
I just use the language model now, Father. You know, it's human knowledge.
Okay. Tell me what the Basel agreement represents. Tell me now, then I will check it, and it better be what you said it is.
Can I please finish?
No. You're not going to do that. I'm moderating. Remember?
All right, listen. I'll leave it for you. Have fun.
Yeah, leave it. You can leave it. I will check what that Basel agreement represents now. Because he comes here last week, he did the same thing. You come here, say something that is not accurate, and then when they want to challenge him on, he says he wants to leave. Then let me find out what is Basel. Is it not BASAL? What does
bilateral? Just bilateral agreement. Bilateral agreement.
Basel agreement mean? And yeah, let's see what does it. Let me see what does it mean. So the Basel agreement. Because the idea that is the reason why ticket prices are cheaper is not necessarily accurate. It doesn't have anything to do with why ticket prices are cheaper.
It has a lot to do with the infrastructure as well around that industry. Because I'm not flying to a country whereby when I get there, will I be able to refuel?
Yes.
What is your tax? How much are you charging? Surcharges. Those things imparted as well. How much your custom fee, the landed fee. You know, if you look at the price as well, there's always a breakdown of those how much you are paying. If you see the amount of that goes to the airlines, it's minimal. But if you see, if you look at those charges, you will see that there are a lot. So if we can harmonize that, you can look into it. And you know what I'm saying with Basan and the others, like we can go in partnership with the airlines. Apart from the nations, like let's discuss with these people. What is the need for them? If they come to Nigeria, what would they gain?
Man, we really overthink stuff. In the end, it still comes down to money. Even you are
sure that's what we are saying. It's money matter.
It comes down to money, and they will not want to lose money. The only reason why they choose to agree with it amongst themselves is not because it's charity. It's because they know if people come to each of their countries, they exchange wealth anyway.
You know, during the forest issue. You know how much we are owing them. They couldn't clear their money, their forest backlog. That's a big issue for them as well. How you expect them to come to?
You are not understanding. I'm not saying
them to come to Nigeria.
Oh my God! I'm not saying they should take the cost. I'm saying Nigerian government should foot the cost.
Sure.
Nigerian government should. That's the whole point. Nigerian government will foot the cost of them coming here and going back there too. That way, because based on my calculation, Nigeria will gain from it. Like when people come to Nigeria and they on average they spend $2,000 or £2,000 in Nigeria when they come to Nigeria. When it means that when more people come to Nigeria, they'll come and spend that money there. If you subsidize them by half of their ticket, which is not anywhere close to £2,000, you are gaining money.
Yeah, there are other ways we can even do that. We can review our surcharges. We can do it to the fuel. If you have the jet fuel,
there are so many ways.
We can lessen the fuel. So once you come to Nigeria, we subsidize your fuel. So because they know that like some may know that if I come back to Nigeria, will I be able? Is that passenger for me to take back? They look at that as well. They balance that. I have a passenger to take to Nigeria. So
they will have more passengers to take to Nigeria if the price comes down. They will have more.
Comes down, there will definitely a lot of people will be traveling.
Yeah, because if they don't reduce it, other people will be Nigerians will be traveling to people will be traveling. If they don't, then other countries will get the same agreement, or Nigeria will make it cheaper for other countries too. The same thing, the flood will come through. I don't know why African leaders have not.
What the other guys disagree with is like he's seeing like direct train of money. He didn't want direct train of money. They're like, we are subsidizing it. Government is paying, giving his money. Is like he didn't want that. It's against that.
No, he see, the thing is, he doesn't want the government to subsidize it because he doesn't seem to understand that if he's waiting for Basa to give him the path that he wants, you're not going to get it. And you have to look at what is the essence of Basa itself. The essence is to exchange subsidies amongst both nations.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about money.
It's all about money.
Yeah. Onto yourself to exchange that money. You do it yourself, then people will come to your country and you make the money from it. You can't say because you don't get the same deal as other people. Then you don't.
What that guy says is that they can factor that in discussion when you're having a bilateral discussion with any nation. They're like, oh, if your national carrier comes to my country, we give this as part of the package. Give us this.
Yeah.
If you have a national carrier, you can even have access to our local airport as well. So once they have that kind of penetration, it's an incentive for them as well. They're like, oh, that means if I flee into Lagos, I can fly into Port Harcourt.
Yeah. So, but you see that thing, we are looking at trying to incentivize them. We are not looking at ourselves. That's the thing. I don't care about them right now. I really don't care about them. I care about my side. I care about us making it cheaper for people to come here.
Yes.
I don't care whether they give us subsidies on the outside. I don't care. So why are they the ones suffering? They are not suffering. They don't need us. Why do you care about them? Care about your own side. They don't need us. So we need us. We need our people to be able to come back to Nigeria. We need people to want to visit Nigeria.
Because a lot of people want to visit, and if you're having $2,000 and if your ticket is $500, that means you have a lot of money. You have some money in your pocket. That means you can easily go to Nigeria and still have 1,500 with you.
Exactly. You have money in your pocket. Do you know how many Nigerians? Even because I know that because I'm one of them.
But you guys are closer. You guys are closer anyway.
We are closer. We are all just in London here. Do you know how annoying it is? You see people that they want to go to Morocco. They have freedom to travel to Morocco as they see fit. They can travel to Morocco as they see fit. They will just get on the plane and just travel. And why Nigerians will just be stuck in the UK? Do you know can you imagine if you live in South Africa from the UK? It's almost, you can't travel. You have to have a lot of money. You have to have almost £2,000 to travel. Do you know how hard it is to get £2,000 in the UK? Then if you have children, how are you supposed to do that? We make it impossible to return home.
Yeah, you're making a valid point. It's another time we have to start harnessing our diaspora potentials. We have to be deliberate about it. Because, and if you look at it, and give it to this government. This government said one thing. The renaissance of our economy, the recovery of our economy, it's even more of diaspora investment.
Exactly.
If you look at that large chunk of amount of money we're able to pump into the Nigerian economy from diaspora, it's a lot, and they appreciate it.
When they come back, sometimes some of them will come with their friends. Some of them will come with their children. And that is also very important, because if their children are not able to return back to Nigeria, then we are losing all those people to foreign countries.
Sure.
This is damaging. We really have to start changing this. And this is a big problem. And also think about it. If Nigeria decides to cut the price,
do
you know almost all African countries in West, all the people that want to travel to West Africa, they'll be coming through Nigeria. Just because
it's definitely going to be
coming through Nigeria now.
Definitely.
And then if the Nigerian government is smart, they will say, the flight is delayed. You have to go to the hotel.
Like they do with Ethiopia Airlines.
Exactly. You said the flight is delayed. You have to go to a hotel next door, and you go and spend money there. All of them will be coming through Nigeria. This is common sense. I don't know why we don't do these things. It's about time. It's really about time.
There are a lot of, like you normally say, there are a lot of hungry fruits.
A lot of them.
A lot of angry fruits.
Yeah, we have to go now. I see the inspectors. The inspectors are out and about, making sure we are living by our
No, she's
words.
right here. She's right here. Yes. You don't have to say anything. I'm right here with you. So go ahead.
I didn't say anything. So thank you for joining us. Adama, she's got a show coming up right after this one. So stay tuned, and we can carry on after that. We are going to be rounding up at the moment. And thank you for joining me, buddy. You are welcome anytime. It's been nice talking to you. Actually, you've been scarce for a bit. come down and let's have a conversation.
You know, for the political side of the thing has been toxic for a while. I just want to stay away. You know,
okay, I see.
Of the thing, you know, I don't want to go.
You come across as like Badu now. That's why.
I don't want to talk about it at all.
You know. All right then. Thank you all for joining us. Boom Boom Ray and Body as usual, the bravest guy to hang around and challenge, and you know, you stand up. I like that. You're a good sportsman. And Equity, Fairness, and Justice. Thank you for joining us. Boom Boom Ray, always thank you for joining us. Good sportsman too. These days he begins to cry out of the panel. I don't know why he keeps crying and leaving the panel. Boom Boom Ray used to be a thick skin guy. Man of Prestige, thank you for joining us. Yeah. Nature Whisper Calm. And all the people that donated, I even agree with Kulata once today. That is rare, man. It's really rare. I agree with him once today. And Real K, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Till next time. Bye.